Vegas Golden Knights and the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the much anticipated, not return yet, that is next week, but the first time we see Mitch Marner ever play against the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the first time the Leafs will play against Mitch Marner, and obviously one of the most highly anticipated games of the entire season, if not the most anticipated game of the season to this point. The Leafs are right there in the playoff race, and this will be a very, very exciting one to take in with all of you. And welcome in everybody to the watch along. Nice to see some familiar faces in the chat. Crankbake, how you doing? We got Joshua in the chat. Jonathan's here. Francesco's here. Brian, shout out to you as well. But I don't think the Leafs are losing tonight. I'm taking the Leafs to win this game. Excuse me. Very excited to see everybody in here and to see the Leafs take on the Golden Knights. Now, this is how the Leafs shape up tonight. Get the starting lineup for you guys tonight. First line, McMahon, Matthews, Domi. We got that first line back together now. Maccelli, Tavares, Nylander. Almost said Nylander. Oh, my goodness. We got Nyes, Waugh, and Robertson. Interesting. And Cowan's on the fourth line with Lorentz and Lawton, who are like inseparable at this point, those two. So very interesting how they line up tonight. You got Riley Carlo, McCabe, and Stetcher tonight instead, and OEL Myers on your third pairing. So let me know how you feel about the lines in the comments, in the chat. Very interesting one tonight against Marner. But yeah, I think that first line being back together that, you know, was doing great before that Utah game, before the Colorado game where Nylander came back. They were really, really good. So excited to see, or sorry, the Colorado game. And Nyes on the third line with Waugh and Robertson. You know what you're getting out of that line. So Cowan moves down to the fourth, and I don't mind the lines. I really do not mind the lines. We're awaiting puck drop here. Puck drop, they did say was going to be a little bit later for whatever reason tonight. So I'll take you guys in live when it happens. I don't know if we're going to get the anthems tonight. I like to play those on the streams as well, but not sure we're going to get it because it's a local broadcast, so you know sometimes they don't show that. So might just take you right into puck drop here. I'm sure it's going to happen any moment, but they did say puck drop was going to be a little bit after 9:30. So we're headed there. We're headed there. But how is everyone doing tonight? Nice to see everybody. It's been a while. It's been a while. Last game I streamed was against the Panthers a couple weeks ago. That was a good one. But excited to get rolling here today. And full disclosure, we'll be live again next Friday. Mitch Marner, Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto. It's going to be this one was anticipated. Next Friday is going to be hectic on home ice. So very excited to see what happens there. But again, love the line so far. And we'll see what happens tonight. But thanks everyone for tuning in once again. And we're going to get rolling here in just a few minutes. Puck drop just a few moments away. But yeah, how's everyone feel about the Leafs? Everybody feeling good? We got a lot of trade rumors around the league now. Lots of trade rumors. But the Leafs look like they're awaiting Chris Tanev's status for the rest of the year to ultimately make any type of move. Which scares me a little bit. But yeah, we will see what happens. But let's get pumped up, guys. Play some music for you guys in the back. Get ready to go here. Austin Matthews with his 10th straight 20-goal season. He's played 10 seasons already. Oh, boy. Where's that cup? Where is that cup that was promised, huh? Should be a lot of fun to see what happens. Leafs also coming off of a tough game in Utah, and I think they'll be fine. Not chalking that one up to too much, but you do want to get right back on track here against Vegas. Here's an interview with Austin Matthews. I'll take you guys into this.
At the end, what was it like seeing him over there?
I didn't look over. I don't know. So, yeah, I think I've had enough of the Mitch questions for the day, Mark. So, yeah, let's just get ready for the game and go from there.
Message received. What do you like about how your team is approaching this one?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, obviously, it's nice to get the day yesterday, try to recharge, regroup, and I mean, it's an important road trip. It's a tough road trip, playing some good teams. They're a really good team tonight, and we just got to make sure that we're locked in from the start.
Feels like you're playing your best hockey of the season. What's been the biggest difference for you since Christmas?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think just, you know, a lot of more pace in my game. I think I'm hanging on to pucks more, carrying it through the neutral zone, and creating from there. So, I just want to continue that. I think the group as well, since Christmas, has kind of turned it up a notch, which is important. All these games are very important for us.
Thank you, Austin. Thanks, Mark.
Well, there you have it from the captain, Austin Matthews. Didn't even look over at Mitch Marner. So that's interesting. He also, to me, again, I could be reading into things, but he sounds sick. So keep that in mind. There is something going around, but he does sound sick to me. But again, this should be a fun one, guys. Very excited to get going here. Jake McCabe also missed some time. He's back officially. He's been back this week, obviously, but he's a big part of the team as well. So he's back in the lineup. I guess players to watch tonight: Austin Matthews, Nic Roy. We got Prophet. Nice to see you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I agree, Crankbait. I'm just saying. I was making an observation that I think he sounds sick. If you lose, you lose. It don't matter. Don't matter. What does it matter anyway? You know, if you're like, I'm hurt, I'm sick, and you lose, like, what does it matter? You lost. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. It's gonna be another late one, guys. I think this is gonna this game's going after midnight. That is for sure. Tuesday they were saying they had to flush the game. They had a good game on Monday. Great game against the Avs. Wish I was streaming that one. That was awesome. So, not the case on Tuesday night against Utah. That was ugly. I mean, that's as ugly as it gets. But, yeah. Yes, Mike, big win. Big win. Big win. For Porto. Hoping to get out to a game there at some point. Obviously not during the Leafs season, but at some point. Hopefully this year. But, yeah. Yeah, they weren't joking about this puck drop being delayed. What's going on here? Here's Craig Berube.
I think this is going to be like for your team tonight to see Mitch Marner on the other side.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a little different, but I mean, once you get through the first shift or two, I think you go play. It's just another game, so that'll be over with. But you know, it'll be exciting for us and exciting for Mitch too. I mean, he was in Toronto a long time, was a great player there, and hey, that's the way it goes. Move on.
What was it like for you to work with him?
Yeah, my time was great with him. I thought it was really enjoyed coaching him. You know, he's a great talent, but he's got a great hockey IQ. You know, he anticipates the play as well as anybody I've coached in the league. So I really enjoyed my time with him.
This year, you're working with Nicholas Roy, who came back in that trade. What have you enjoyed about working with Nick?
Yeah, steady player. You know what you're getting every night. You know, he does his job, penalty killing, gives you some secondary offense. You know, big centerman. You know, Nick's been great. I think he's really come into his own here with the Leafs. It took a little bit of time, you know, going to a new team, but he's fitting in really well.
Tough loss on Tuesday. What do you see as the key to getting back on track here tonight?
Yeah, got to get, well, you know, we're a little fresher, obviously. That'll help, but tonight for me it's about skating and getting on our toes here right away and getting to our game as quickly as we can.
Craig, thank you.
Thank you.
That's head coach Craig Berube ahead of the game against the Vegas Golden Knights just now. And also another note for tonight's game. Mitch Marner's playing center, so there's possibilities for Marner to go up against Austin Matthews in the dot. Or John Tavares, which is pretty interesting. Mitch Marner is playing center now for the Vegas Golden Knights. So nice to see you, Joshua. Nice to see you, Prophet. Todd, how you doing? How's everyone doing? Nice to see everybody in the chat here. I assume puck drop is like moments away at this point, but they said it was a 9:30 start. 9:42. Don't understand why the NHL does this, but maybe it's probably like, because, you know, it's not even 7 o'clock there, I guess, local time, right? So it's an interesting one. But we are headed to a commercial break, which means player introductions, anthems coming up, which means the puck drop is just moments away. But where's everyone watching from? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Always love to be live with you guys. Same group here. Obviously, we get some new viewers here and there, and I appreciate all you guys as well. But Nice to see everybody doing well. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday season. We're well out of that now at this point, and yeah, excited to get rolling with the rest of the season. Let's get some polls going. I want to get an easy one going for you guys here to start tonight. Just an easy one. Yes or no answer. We can get into some interesting ones with some players, what thing, stuff that needs to happen, who would you trade for, stuff like that around the intermission. We'll get into stuff like that. But we'll get an easy one going here. Will the Leafs make the playoffs? We'll get that going there. Crankbait is watching from home tonight. I am as well. While watching from, gotta come up with a name for this room. Gotta come up with a name for this space. Not necessarily a Leafs hub or something like that. We'll come up with a name for it. Anybody got any names that we can call this when we're streaming this area I'm in? Anybody got any? Shoot that in the chat. Like Leafs Cave, I think is a little too, everybody uses that, But we got some yeses already. 100% for Leafs making the playoffs. Love it. Hey, Crankbait, I just saw your message from before. Not enough Wah revenge talk. Bet he has a good game. Totally agree. Totally agree. And Nicolas Wah has looked fantastic the last little while. So I actually really, really like that comment. I totally agree. And I think that, he's going to get that video tribute tonight. You won a cup with them, man. Like, he was a big part of that team for a while. So very, very, very excited. See what he does tonight, too. And at least finally have a solidified third-line center, guys. Like, get up. Get excited about this stuff, Like, yes, we knew they were going to take a step back, but let's get excited. Joseph Wall versus Aiden Hill. Aiden Hill has only played 3 games so far this year. With an 888 save percentage. Joseph Wall rocking a 920. This guy's been electric. 11-4-2 with a 2.54 goals against average. Electric. Still rocking 100% in terms of do the Leafs make the playoffs. Puck drop is moments away here, guys. Lock in. We are literally seconds away from puck drop. Anthem's done. Player intro is done. Jeff, the Leafs fan, says there's no way the Leafs are missing the playoffs. This is the attitude I want. These are my people. I wake up every morning and I go, there's no chance the Leafs miss the playoffs. There's no chance. They'll be in. You guys think Buffalo... I'm not saying you guys, sorry. But the people out there think Buffalo and the Penguins are going to make the playoffs. Give the Leafs a minute, guys. There's a lot of... Nick Hague, by the way, Josh. Oh my God, I would love Nick Hague on the Leafs, man. Would absolutely love... Yeah, Crankbait. They won 10 games in a row like a couple of years ago. I don't even remember what season that was, and they finished last in the conference. I don't want to hear none of that garbage. None of that. Get the Buffalo Sabres. Get that garbage out of here. I don't even know who their goalie is. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Here we go. Puck is down, guys. Mitch Marner took the opening face-off against Nic Roy. A nice little thing by Craig Berube there to start Nic Roy's line, which, by the way, tonight has Nick Robertson and Matthew Nyes on it. That is your third line tonight. I want to see a tight checking game from the Leafs here. This is still a pretty good Vegas Golden Knights team. Profit. I will be live next Friday. That's a huge game. Arguably bigger than this one. Here comes Marner. Stop by Wolf. Marner is getting booed in Vegas. Mitch Marner is getting booed in Vegas. He just touched the puck in the offensive zone and they're booing. Wow. Wow, they're showing the replay. You can really hear it. There's a lot of Leaf fans in the building. I mean, it's Vegas. Let's be honest, right? A lot of Leaf fans in the building. If he gets booed touching the puck in his own building, wow. Imagine next Friday. You guys, we're 40 seconds into this game. Imagine next Friday. Profit, I'll be live. And you all know how I feel about Mitch Marner. You do. Great hockey player. I'm not going to sit here on stream and boo him. I think that's like, whatever. If you want to do that, if you want to do that in the arena, like, go for it, right? Like, you bought your ticket, go for it. I'm not gonna sit here and boo every time you touch the puck. Like, come on, I want to give you guys like some entertainment. But I'm not gonna do that. So if you're gonna tune in next week for that, I'm not gonna do that. But everyone knows how I feel about Mitch Marner. It was time to move on. A long time ago, well before that happened. And I'm at the end of the day, they offered him a contract. He said no, and he walked to Vegas. So how could you be happy about that as a Leafs fan? How can you be happy about anything that happened? So Marner's line, Matthews' line is out there. First line's out there. I'm gonna be doing that all night, I guess. I'm interested to see Marner get back out there now. If that was just something I was like making up. I see a lot of Leaf jerseys in the crowd. Here comes Domi. One thing I'm noticing with the Leafs too, they're not afraid to carry the puck in from the neutral zone into the offensive zone now. Less dumping in. They are dumping in still and chasing to a degree and trying to make some plays happen down low, but less of it. Mitch Marner with a big game last night for the Vegas Golden Knights. They win in Los Angeles. He had a late goal in that game. Back underway here. Phil Myers behind the net. Phil Meyer back in the lineup tonight. Troy Stetcher is playing with Jake McCabe on the second pairing. Oh, nice play in the neutral zone by Nylander to find Tavares streaking into the zone. He tries to get that back to Michelli. It doesn't work. Michelli very shifty. He likes to, work his way around the offensive zone, try to find the open man. Here comes Tavares through the neutral zone again with Nylander. He gets it over to Nylander. Nylander trying to find some open ice. He gets it down low to Tavares. Nice little play there, boys. Macronio, welcome in. Hope you're doing well, sir. Oh, nice play by Nylander to find Riley. He scores! Morgan Riley scores, and what a start for the Leafs. 1-0 on a great play by JT and William Nylander. Great play by Nylander to put it to an open space. That is hockey, baby. That is hockey. Puts it down low to Tavares, and then he, great play. And Tavares gets it back to Willie, whose pants are inside out tonight. Willie, fix that. What are you doing, buddy? And he finds Riley wide open at the point. Smash. 1-0 Leafs. Great start for the Leafs. Shots are 2-2 to start this game. Fourth line out there for the Leafs now. Cowan on the fourth line with Lorentz and Lawton. I should have a Ric Flair woo thing here on the stream, but we'll give you Joe Bowen. We'll give you Joe Bowen, guys. Holy Mackinac. The Leafs are up 1-0, baby. This is a good start for the boys. Oh, nice chance by... Oh, big hit by Easton Cowan. Boys are buzzing. Boys are buzzing. Icing on... against the Golden Knights. Good start. This is what we want. Great play on the boards by Willie to beat 3 guys. And Hurdle was just swimming. No pun intended, used to be a shark. Absolute great play. Paul, how you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. I guess this game is a regular start for you out in Alberta. Here comes Matthews. He's streaking to the net. He can't get to the front of the net. He goes around. Back down low to Domi. Domi gets it right in front. Nobody's there, and it's out front to Stone, who chips it out to center. Leafs are skating circles around the Knights right now. Prophet, I'm telling you, like, you cannot treat this game like any other game. I'm sick and tired of that garbage that's been happening for the last 10 years. This means something. This guy made so much money for this organization and left. Here comes Nyes coming in on the forecheck. Does a good job of that. Steals the puck away. It's out at the neutral zone, though. Leafs Guys, Leafs are skating well. Leafs are skating very well to start this one. Nice play by Nice to win that puck. He gets it to Robertson down low. Robertson, by the way, missed last game with that ankle injury, I guess. He's back in the lineup tonight. He said that he thought he broke his foot off that shot. But I guess just caught him in a weak spot. Tough spot there. And one thing I take from that is the boys are putting their bodies on the line, man. This looks like a team now. Like, before they were a good team based on their record, they look like a team the last 3 weeks. Like, they act like a team. Domi to McMahon. McMahon back to Dom. They are cycling beautifully right now. Well, that should be a penalty. I mean, Domi's... Here comes McMahon. McMahon is probably the fastest skater on this team. Well, this has been a good start. Very exciting. Hopefully this doesn't slow down. I imagine it will, but... Has Mitch Marner taken a shift? Since the first shift? I haven't noticed him. That looks like it's going to be an icing on Riley on the Leafs, and it is. Icing called on the Leafs. They'll take it back. Hey, Paul. Paul with the $10 donation. Thank you very much, Paul. Get Captain Matthews in here for you. Beat the Gold Knights and lay the ghost of Mitch Marner to rest. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's had enough of hearing about him. He's gone. Move on. I agree, Paul. And that's why I try to bring him up. Not bring him up, I should say, in our videos anymore, because let's move on. And I don't want to talk about it, but let's not pretend like it's not a storyline tonight, right? Like, this is the first time he's playing against the Leafs in his career, and he spent a lot of time in Toronto, and Friday's going to be a storyline, and after that, it'll be dead. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. So, it's going to be, Nylander in front, scores! 2-0 Leafs. Amazing start. And something tells me Adin Hill's night is going to be an early one. Early bedtime for Adin Hill. Turnover in the neutral zone. Nice play by Michelli. Nice move. He throws it to the middle of the ice. Finds Nylander. Tape to tape. Nylander from his skate to his stick. Backhand. Puts it in the back of the net. And I'm telling you, boys, early bedtime for Adin Hill tonight. Curfew is early tonight. Great start for the Leafs. 2-0. And I don't even have the score updated. Apologies, everyone. 2-0 Leafs. Here we are. Shots are 5-3 for the Leafs. They are buzzing right now. Great pass by Michelli. Great job by John Tavares as well to get the front of the net there. Yeah, Paul. And you know what, guys? Like, on the channel, people called me crazy, guys. And Prophet, I remember... You were always a Michelli truther. Always. And people called me crazy. I said it in the videos. Bring in Michelli. And when he signed in the summer, I was like, this is a good signing. You guys don't understand. This is a good signing. And I don't know what it was that, like, turned him off to Berube. I don't know what it was. But he got his opportunity, and that guy has made the most of it, man. I think it was Nashville, the first game he came back. He has not squandered his opportunity. He has looked awesome. Like, so worthy of that second line spot since he's come back. Now, can he keep it up consistently? I want to see it. Prophet, I'm finally on a stream that's ahead. I'm finally watching something that's not terribly behind. I remember one of the first ones I did, like, everyone was messaging in the chat that they scored. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll see it at some point. But no, this is a great start for the Leafs here. I've seen a lot of Kolasar in this game. I've not seen a lot of 93. That's right, Prophet. The Michelli Truthers. I'm going to make a fan club. I'm going to make a group chat. Great play. Great play. Just want a replay of the goal here. Or just a little while ago, I should say. And it's a great play. Canucks Digest. I feel like the Leafs are one Evander Kane away from contending. They should totally trade for him. Mark, call in. Mark, let me know if you want to call in. We'll chat in the intermission. you want to call into the stream. Canucks Digest, everybody. If you want, you know, a better team to talk about. Tim, that's not true, is it? Did Kyle Tucker just sign with the Dodgers? That can't be true. Whoa. Wow. Tucker just signed with the Dodgers? Am I finding this out live on stream? We're going to a commercial. Hold on. We're going to commercial. Did Kyle Tucker just sign with the Dodgers? That is, I did not expect that. Wow. Kyle Tucker is signed with the Dodgers. That is disgusting. That is disgusting information. Wow, Kyle Tucker's going to the Dodgers. Bo Bichette, I never doubted you. Please come home. I have a Bo Bichette jersey. Please resign. Nick is, I'm reaching out to Nick for comment. But surely he will be on Jay's Digest shortly. Wow. Mitch Marner is playing center now, Paul, for the Vegas Golden Knights. I also wanted to bring this up, all you guys in here. Steve Simmons, this was an hour ago. Steve Simmons dropped an article, and it reads, Mitch Marner wanted to finish the season with the Leafs, which was a disingenuous piece of business. Marner knew he was leaving. He knew pretty much that he was headed to Las Vegas. His parents had been down there house shopping in the Leafs' last trip out west last season. Now, I don't think it was last season. I think he knew 2 years ago. And I think Brendan Shanahan knew too. And Brendan Shanahan said, I'm going to keep you because if we end up winning the cup, I'm going to look smart. Bad business. Bad business. Nic Roy just got his video tribute in his in the commercial break. That's the word I was looking for. Reaching out to Nick Goss for comment right now on Kyle Tucker. We'll have that shortly for you guys. With how the team is playing, Jake McCabe's going to the box here. Vegas is going to the power play. Okay, Nick Goss, ladies and gentlemen. The MLB is a stupid league. Nick Goss of Jay's Digest and Leafs Digest. The MLB is a stupid league. That is his initial comment. Profit. With how the Leafs, with how the team, is playing, do we even need a top six forward? I mean, think a better 2C that's more consistent can do us some good, but I feel like the D should be the main focus. Yes, I agree. Things change, and it's okay to change your opinion when things change. And things have changed with Chris Tanev being out. They need a defenseman. I don't think they need a top forward. A lot of people might call me crazy. Look at the scoring they're getting, guys. Every single line can score. Every single line can score, and they all have roles. They look like they're building some chemistry. I wouldn't mess with that. I would not mess with that right now. So, yes, they need a defenseman. They do at this point. If Chris Tanev's out, I mean, Troy Stetcher's played well, but that's a glaring hole. Oh, nice play by Stetcher, speaking of which. Right in front. Take that away from Hurdle. I think the only way to get a number 1 D-man too is to move on from Riley, but you can't do that in season. I don't think there's a way you can do that in season with the no trade clauses, no movement clauses, all that. All of that. Everyone else knew that too. I remember when Simmons made fun of Kessel for eating hot dogs. Kessel won the cup and brought it back to Toronto with hot dogs in it. Yes, I remember that as well. And a lot of what people dumped on Kessel for was not his fault. I mean, I look back at it. I love Phil Kessel, and I think he's a great player. You got to build around a guy like that. He's going to score you goals, but the team was flawed. You need... Why do you want Kessel to be your 200-foot player? Kessel is a goal scorer. Phil Kessel is a goal scorer. Yeah, they had to build the team around him. They never did that. They added a few good pieces, JVR, right? Like, but MLB needs a hard cap. Canucks Digest saying the Leafs are less than 10 minutes into the game and have held a lead longer than the Canucks have since December 20th. They ended up losing that game 6-3 as well. That is horrific. My God. Man, we don't have it bad. We don't. The Leafs are playing well. Holy smokes. I also like Ferraro as a trade piece from San Jose. Donaferov just scored. 2-1. Marner with a point on the power play. Let's see him get a point in the last 5 minutes of this game. 2-1 now. Vegas on the board. That power play was looking pretty dangerous. I was joking around there, but didn't necessarily feel good about that at all. 11:50 left here in the first. 2-1 Vegas. They score on the power play. Yeah, Canucks are like the worst team in the league. In the middle of a rebuild. Yeah, Mitch gets a point. I mean, I think you were expecting it. I'm not mad. I knew that was happening. I think Kyle Tucker signed for... I think he's making $60 million a year with the Dodgers. He signed with the Dodgers? The MLB is going to get... There's a lockout coming. This is like the Warriors when they got KD. The in-arena host just did the most over-exaggerated call for an assist I've ever heard in my life. That is so sad. Like, come on, guys, please cheer the guy that plays for us now because he's getting booed out of his own building. That's hilarious. Are the Jets like us? Are they also back leading the Wild 6-1? Yeah, Jets, man. You know what? They lost, I think it was almost 2 months. Not 2 months, maybe a month and a half that they had Connor Hellebuck was out. And ever since he came back, slowly making their way back into games. So I think the last one... No, I think Comrie played against the Leafs, actually. So, yeah. What is Aiden Hill doing? Jeez. I don't either, Paul, but I also understand, they play way more games, right? So, there's so much more of it. And there's certain states that, don't have hockey or basketball, and they have a baseball team, so I can kind of understand it. Baseball's huge in some states, but being here, I agree, because hockey is everything. Hockey is everything. Yeah, the Jets are looking a lot better. I don't know if they make the playoffs, but I think they're evening out to what they should be. They're definitely not one of the worst teams in the league. There's no way. They have way too many good players for that. And a good goalie. A lot of things, when teams struggle like that, a lot of it is mental, guys. Phil Myers would have shot right into the breadbasket. And Aiden Hill makes the stop. Opt out after 2 years with the Kyle Tucker. Interesting. Go there, win a championship or two, I guess. That's how he's feeling. It is shocking how close the Jays were to winning that championship, and now the Dodgers are adding these players. So it's quite shocking. I've heard a lot of stories about that, Paul. Very similar stories like that. I remember when the Olympics were on, when I was in school, they let us watch it. The World Cup, like they used to let us, they would shut things down, let us watch stuff like that. I remember that very well. World Cup was a little bit different because like it's the end of the year. I don't think the teachers really cared. But I remember like definitely the Olympics we watched in school. Did I miss what did I miss off that face off? What did Matthews do? Macronio. Oh yeah, Marner or Matthews. Oh my god, I'm gonna keep doing that. Matthews scores, great deflection. Oh, wrong button. There's the horn. 3-1 Leafs. Oh my god, the Leaf fans are giving it to everyone. I am loving this. What a deflection. Great play by Jake McCabe. I'm all over the place tonight, guys. Sweet hands in front. Beauty tip. Great play by Jake McCabe. Put it to an area. Put it to an area, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. 3-1. Bang. Matthews has 8 goals in his last 8 games. That makes it 8-8 for Matthews. His 23rd of the season. Assist to McCabe and Stetcher. It's 3-1 Leaf. Shots are 10-7. And there is 9:32 left in this period, this first period. Very eventful one. Aiden Hill, by the way, only played 3 games so far this year. Tough start for him. So, and the Leafs led in a power play goal. Not going to blame Joseph Wall on that one. Here comes Cowan. Man, Cowan busts. I'll say it. He busts his ass, man. Lots of cheers for the Leafs goal call over the PA. Announcement, I should say. Riley floats that to the net. Pretty disrespectful shots. Yeah, Matthews is back. Matthews is back. Relentless forecheck from the Leafs here. They might get caught a little bit here, though. They're on a change. Great play by Carlo. Stands up his man at the line. Here comes the second line back the other way. Tavares gets it in deep. He's going to go off for a change. Third line's coming out. Nyes gives chase. What happened? Wait, when did this happen? Did I miss it? I was looking at the chat. When did Matthews lay out Marner? I'm going to go on Twitter. I got to... What? Did I miss something? Riley Smith on a breakaway. Big stop by Joseph Wall. And then Nick Robertson takes him hard into the boards. Nice play. Yeah, Cowan. If they trade Cowan, I don't know if you guys did everyone see that report about they wanted Shen, but Shen wouldn't leave St. Louis unless Luke was coming with him, which obviously Luke didn't play in St. Louis, so the Leafs couldn't make that trade work. Do not trade Easton Cowan. I will be so frustrated if they trade Easton Cowan this year at the deadline. That guy is going to be a great player. You need guys with that work ethic. Like, he can always work on his skating. He can get better in certain areas. But you need that guy. You need that guy. Wait, where's Willie? Why is Cowan out there with these guys? I think they were in the middle of a change. Maybe they're mixing some things up. I don't know. Oh, okay. I thought I missed Matthews laying out Marner. I was like, did I miss the play of the season? What? Also, I want you guys' opinion here in the chat. Matthews is not playing along with the whole... Did you look over at Mitch Marner and warm up? No, I didn't. Do you want to talk about Mitch Marner? No, I don't want to talk about him. He's not playing nice with these questions, right? Like the obvious, like, oh yeah, he's my buddy, whatever. I kind of like it that he's like, I don't care. I'm out here to win. Like, I didn't even look at the guy. I want to take 2 points from him. And I don't care about these questions. Like, this doesn't affect me. Because we know it does. Like, we know they're buddies and they're probably texting and stuff, right? But, like, does anyone else, like, not see this and think, like, you don't hate it? Like, I don't hate that. I don't care. Hey, what do you think about Mitch Marner, first game, whatever? I don't care. I didn't even look at him. I want to take 2 points. I like it. I like it. Okay. Focus on the game. Let's do it. Take the 2 points then. And they've come out hot, which is good because they don't do that. They're such a reactionary team. But the last, since Christmas, they have it. I feel like they've been very proactive. I like it. The Leafs are engaged tonight. Love it. And no touchy with Cowan. He's untouchable. Yes. I mean, Danford's still up in the air, but I do believe he's going to be a good defenseman. He's the type of defenseman you don't like. They don't grow on trees. You can find like these shifty, not to an elite level, but you can find like these shifty offensive defensemen that sometimes don't pan out. You can find a bunch of those in the OHL, right? But you can't find like a Ben Danford who's going to lay his body on the line and he just plays with so much composure. And, it looks like he might end up this year going to a 3rd OHL final in a row. Like, who does that? Not many guys. Now, if Cowan is a centerpiece for a Jason Robertson, I'm also not in love with a Jason Robertson trade because you have 3 scorers already. Or not 3 scorers. You would have 3 scorers, goal scorers, right? I don't know if that works with the Leafs. But if you have an opportunity to acquire Jason Robertson, I mean, what are we talking about, right? I think you go ahead and you do that. Yeah, Paul, OEL's been great. I mean, when they first made those signings, Nick and I made videos and we were like, the contract stinks. Like, it does. But you understand why the contract is the way it is. But it does stink, objectively. But he's been great. And I was talking about how you need to bring guys in. The Leafs had this philosophy for so long. Plays underway, by the way. First line's out there. Oh, nice play to Matthews. Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a save by Adin Hill. That was an amazing 4-way passing play by the Leafs. That should have been a sure goal. That was an unbelievable save. Wow. Matthews to Domi across to, I believe, McMahon, who gets robbed by Adin Hill. Nylander to the dressing room. Not a good sign. Wonder if it's related to what he was dealing with earlier. Not earlier, a couple games ago. Huge save by Adin Hill. I don't remember what I was talking about. Icing on Vegas coming up here. Yep. Huge save. I would like to see this replay. Great play by McMahon to keep it alive to Matthews. Domi to McMahon, and what a save. Oh, what a save. Backwards. He was backwards in the crease. His leg comes up. He makes the save Scorpion style. Credit where credit's due. That is one of the best saves I've seen this season. That is a sure goal. I was about to yell because Domi didn't shoot that, but that was great vision, great look. I mean, it's just a great save. What do you say about it? What do you say? What do you say? Face off at center, because I guess it wasn't an icing. Robo has looked good with Waugh and Cowan. His bro will look good in blue and white as well. Yeah, I mean, if there's a reason to come here, I mean, your brother plays here, right? Wouldn't that be cool? What I was going to say is the Leafs for years under Kyle Dubas, he brought in guys like Joe Thornton, Wayne Simmons, I don't know who else, TJ Brody, I don't know, like some of these older-ish guys. But what do all those guys have in common? Yes, they're veterans of the league, but what do they all have in common? They've never won the Stanley Cup. And they kept bringing in guys like that, old guys that have experience but have never done it. So when Treliving went out and said, I'm going to go get guys that have won the cup, and not just like a couple years ago. I'm going to go get guys that just won the cup. OEL, Stolars, Lorentz, because that's going to slowly, work ethic and this mentality rubs off on other people. So if you add people that can come in and be like, hey, these are little things I picked up over the last couple of years winning the cup. Start, adding them to your game. And then you get guys like Stetcher this year who, like, it's infectious how hard a guy like that works, right? Like, he just busts his ass. He gets to work. And, it's infectious. So I think they have a better blueprint in that way now that they added more guys who actually know what it takes to win, and some of that rubs off on older guys. So, and the other thing is, to the point I was just making, they were signing guys like Thornton, Simmons, all these guys right at the end of their career. Guys that they added like OEL, Lorentz, Stolars, they're not at the end of their career. Like, they're not young, busting into the league prospects or anything, but they're not guys ready to retire. These are guys that are ready to go out and win another Stanley Cup in the primes of their career. So that's something I've really liked that Treliving has done in his tenure here, is adding guys like that. And yes, the contracts kind of stink, but you get the AAV down and then you end up on Robot Island. That's just the way it is. So OEL's not going to finish his contract here. He might. I don't know. He's playing well. Like, whatever. Oh, big hit on Nick Robertson by Colasar. Nice step up. Nick Foligno was an awful trade. Now, there was also another trade on the table. That trade deadline, this looks dangerous. Nice save by Wall. There was another trade on the table at that deadline that was Brandon Hagel and Marc-Andre Fleury for Matt Nyes and a draft pick. I like Matt Nyes. I'm glad they didn't make that trade, but at the time on paper, you go, this gets you closer to a cup for sure. But I don't think that team had it mentally, like the core group, so it wouldn't have mattered. So I'm glad they didn't make that trade. And I'm glad we have Nyes now, because a lot of people forget like how young Matt Nyes is. He's 22. He's still 22. He's going to be a great player for years to come. That should be a hand pass. Whoa. Aiko was sleeping there. Yeah, no young guys were given the chance under Dubas and Keith, but at the same time, I don't know if it was the drafting, what it was, but they were drafting guys who never could come in and make an impact. I mean, look at this year with some of the Marlies. You call up some of the guys, like they can come in and actually look like they're making somewhat of an impact. Not an impact, but like not look horrible and not be, not play 4 minutes on the bench or something, or 4 minutes a night and they're riding the bench, right? Phil Myers scares me. I hate it when he carries the puck like this. All right, he got out of it. Yeah, trading Nyes would have been a mistake. So, I mean, we're talking hindsight 2020, but we know that team at that time didn't have the mentality. I think they're continuing to learn and to grow, and I think at some point, some of these guys are going to... It's just going to click one time. I've heard so many coaches and former players talk about it. Sometimes it'll just click at some point. So, but there's certain things that don't click, and that they don't work, and that's 93 on the Vegas Golden Knights as a Maple Leaf. So, what just happened there to OEL? Here comes Lawton. Ooh, nice little play to Lorentz. He gets it back in and on goal, and that is stopped by Aiden Hill. We are going to commercial break. The Leafs are up 3-1 in the first period. 2:12 left in this period. This has been an eventful one. A good one. It's been a good one. Leafs have started on fire. Skating well to start the game. Simone Benoit, I missed this 45 minutes ago from Leafs PR. Simone Benoit is not playing tonight, and he's out with an upper body injury. He's listed as day-to-day. So you know what that means, guys? Simone Benoit's season is over. He's listed as day-to-day. That means he's never coming back. But in all seriousness, I hope hope Simone Benoit gets well soon, so we can all get back on the Simone Benoit train. So hopefully Simone Benoit gets well soon, out with an upper body injury. And that's why he's not playing tonight. Yep, Jonathan, I did see that. Kyle Tucker is headed to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Nick is going to have a video on Jays Digest very shortly, because now it looks like the Jays need to pivot back or circle back to Bo Bichette. So, I'll throw it out again since we're at commercial. What does everyone think of Matthew's comments about whenever he's asked about Mitch Marner? Just kind of downplaying it. I didn't look over at him. I don't care about these questions. I just want to go out and get 2 points. I like it. But You guys let me know what you think. I think that's good stuff. Good stuff. Coming up in the first intermission, who misses who more? Marner or Matthews? Come on. Someone just went to the dressing room. I missed the name there. Somebody just went to the tunnel for the Leafs. Or went to... down the tunnel. Yeah, I like the comment from Matthews, guys. I like it. That's some captain stuff right there. What do you think? You know, Marner shot the puck at your legs at, you know, the warm-up. What do you think of that? I don't care. I don't care. I'm here to collect 2 points. I'm here to collect 2 points and leave. I like it. Yeah, Dodgers have way too many good players. But I mean, whatever. Like, there's no cap in baseball. But if they have a lockout, they're going to learn real quick. Having a good night. Need Marner to get one more assist for 3 parlays to hit. He might. I mean, if Vegas gets another power play. Their power play was looking a little dangerous. Vegas announcers keep saying what a sensational save. Hey, it was a good save. Like a little fluky. McMahon could have lifted it. Like a lot of things went right from there, but good little save. Carlo shoots that pinballs all the way around. Looked like a game of pinball there. Hit one leg, hit another leg. Nylander did go down the tunnel. They're down him for sure, but somebody else just went down the tunnel. And I believe it was a defenseman. I'm not sure who it was. They're already down Benoit. I just went over that a couple minutes ago. Benoit. I believe we're back. I believe we are back. Had some technical difficulties going there, guys, but yeah, Riley and Carlo playing a lot right now. Somebody went down the tunnel. They're hurt. We got 38 seconds left here in the first. And hopefully it's equipment fixed. That'd be nice. They also just said, I didn't realize this. Wool and Stolars have not been on the roster at the same time this year. For a single game, that combo has not been on the bench or on the ice together. That is not ideal. But that's why you have both of them. And it looks like there's another icing coming up here against the Leafs. 31.6 left to go in this first period. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Get out of this period clean. 15 shots to 10 for the Leafs here. Nice play by Riley. He's streaking in here. We got 15 left here in the period. Kolasar coming in. His shot goes well wide. Out to center. And that'll do it for the period. Great period by the Leafs. 3-1 lead to end this first period. Pretty clean. Power play gets one for Vegas, but I mean, 3 really nice goals for the Leafs there. Could have had a fourth. That's a solid period. To come into Vegas like that, that is a solid period. Don't hate that at all. very, very good period from the boys. Now, get to some chat here. Beast has played much better this season. Last game was an exception, but every goalie has those. Every goalie has those for sure. And, you know, second half of a back-to-back, they were just in Colorado. Big win against the Avs. It was a back-to-back. Whatever. Like, whatever. Hildebeest played fine. Like, there's a few things in his game that I think he has to get better at, but nothing that's, like, super egregious. So, he, I mean, it's, you know, I don't like how guys keep beating him over the blocker up high because he's a big goalie, but he's looked really good, way better than last season. Looks even more calm and composed in the net, and I just like his game a lot. So he's gonna be a stud. Stolars and Wall on this are the same guy. That's why you never see them together. I like that crankbait. That's funny. That's it's like Spider-Man. You know, have you ever seen him and Peter in the same room together? No, because they're the same person. That's Joseph Wall and Anthony Stolars. But that was a great period. Concern level on Willie right now. Well, they haven't ruled him out for the game. I haven't seen anything on socials. Leafs PR hasn't said anything. So I'm not concerned yet. If he's not out for the second period, then we know. Like, I would be concerned. But I haven't heard anything yet, so I'm not concerned. Yeah. But speaking of concerning, a lot of trade rumors flying around, guys. And some of them include Brayden Schenn. We heard a rumor last year that Brayden Schenn was going to be traded to the Leafs, but he wanted Luke Schenn to come with him. That's the only reason the trade didn't go down. We heard that the return was Easton Cowan, Ben Danford, and another piece. That would have been disastrous, looking back at it right now. Thank goodness that didn't happen, and thank goodness they went out and got Scott Laughton instead. I think that's a way better fit for what they have going right now. But Nick and I broke down another interesting trade target for the Leafs, and listening to what we have to say about this, because there was an interesting report, and I'll be back in just a few minutes, guys. Just need a drink. I'll be back in a second. Just need to grab some water to get ready for a very exciting second period coming up, because I think there's going to be some fireworks the rest of the way, because that was a really, really good first period. So I'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
A massive Leafs trade is incoming as multiple huge new reports have just dropped surrounding the Leafs' pursuit of a couple of wild names. But not only that, another report has dropped revealing that a trade is incoming for this team. I'm going to break down these new reports and discuss what they mean going forward as the Leafs and Brad Treliving prepare for something big. But not only that, we have a ton of other things to go over on this episode, folks. But before we get into it all, and you're going to want to stay tuned to the end of this video, quick reminder, hit that subscribe button. You guys have been absolutely fantastic with the support. There's a lot to go over today. And of course, like I just mentioned, a big move is going to be coming here at some point for the Leafs. Of course, they need to make a trade before the trade deadline, especially if things continue the way they are. But we bring this up because a new report from Chris Johnson has come out. We'll start with this, then we're going to dive into two names that have been linked to the Leafs. But it's that Chris Johnson's report. I really get the sense that action is picking up around the league and that these next 5 or 6 games for a lot of teams are critical, that maybe some trade discussions are getting a little more serious, even something like a coaching change. Now, I don't think they're going to fire Craig Berube or anything like that, but this is important because we'll dive into it in a minute here. Multiple new names have just dropped yesterday into this morning about trying the Toronto Maple Leafs. But Darius, it seems that a big trade is going to be coming here. And a trade is definitely happening for the Leafs. It's a matter of how big, but it seems like things are really picking up here very soon.
Definitely around the league, and we're already seeing some coaches getting fired. I don't think Craig Berube is going anywhere, and we talked about that when it was actually hot and a hot topic. I think that's kind of blown over now with them, you know, winning a bunch of games since just before Christmas. But something big is coming, and I don't know if it's a top 6 winger at this point. I wonder if they're pivoting their focuses to a defenseman because of everything that's happened with Chris Tanev and Chris Johnson. Speaking of Chris Johnson, he did report that it's looking like Tanev will be out the whole year. Now they're still trying to figure out the specifics of, is it the entire regular season? Is it the whole year until the summer? Like no chance he's coming back even in the playoffs. They're still trying to figure that out, and obviously we'll have an update when that comes out. But I think that's really going to dictate the Leafs trade plans, whether he's coming back or not, because it's going to dictate how much salary cap space they have to use as well. So things are definitely picking up around the league. We're seeing a bunch of movement already, and I think the Leafs are definitely kicking tires on a lot of the bigger names out there.
Yeah, let's dive into one of the names, and that is a report from the fourth period's David Pagnotta saying that the Canadiens, Devils, Maple Leafs, and Hurricanes, as well as the Capitals, are among the teams to have interest in Brayden Schenn. Now, we know the Leafs have interest in, of course, Luke Schenn as well, but it seems now that Brayden Schenn's and the Leafs' pursuit of Schenn is back on the table here, and you can see he's a very unique player, and he's a strong two-way forward with a solid scoring touch and leadership. Consistency can waver with defensive lapses occasionally occurring, reliable in clutch moments. Darius, I want to get your thoughts and everybody in the comment section's thoughts on this. He's 34. They were pursuing him last year. They tried to get him and his brother Luke in exchange for Cowan, Danford, and picks. Didn't work out. Thank God for that. But it seems like they're going to pursue Braden Shen this upcoming trade deadline. He has 2 years of control left, which is right in the middle of Brad Treliving in the Toronto Maple Leafs window. Treliving loves the player, clearly. How much will he cost? That's the question. A $6.5 million cap hit is a little bit steep. He only has 19 points in 47 games this year for the Blues, who, of course, is a minus 23 on the ice. I honestly don't know if I love this move, and I'm not sure it makes a ton of sense. Though Brad Treliving, again, he's been involved heavily with Braden Shen, so it makes sense that they're linked to him again, especially with the reports now that the market's picking up ahead of the Olympics.
The only way this makes sense is because of his clutch moments gene, whatever you want to call it, that he has come up big in these big moments. And that's kind of what Brad Treliving's been talking about the last few years in terms of changing the DNA and having guys that can step up in those big moments. Now, they changed a lot of the DNA in terms of the bottom six coming into this year. There's a lot of new players, and Dakota Joshua's out due to injury right now. Obviously, Nicolas Waugh, like they added a bunch of new players for that. And I think Braden Shen, when you're thinking about it, when you look at last year, he was worth a lot more in the market, in the open market, in trades than he is right now. He is abysmal defensively this year. I know the Blues are bad, but he has not been good. You talk about defensive lapses, like that tweet there in the advanced analytics. I mean, he's been horrible this year. He's probably worse than Morgan Riley in terms of plus minus and everything that's happened with that. So that's not great. The offensive output's not fantastic. He makes a lot of money. So I'm not in love with this move anymore. I would have loved it last year, right? Because of the team that they had and everything that was, that they were working towards. I feel like a lot of people feel like they were close to a Stanley Cup. I don't think they were that close, but I think it's the closest we've seen from this group. So it would have been exciting at the time, of course, but I don't think it makes sense anymore. I don't think I would do that. And I think that they're going to be asking for younger, impactful players still. I don't think the package looks like what it did last year. That's for sure. There's no way, but I think they're still asking for younger, impactful, forwards, and the Leafs don't have those to give up.
Yeah, and at the same time, $6.5 million cap hit. I'm sure there'll be some team willing to do that. If the Leafs have to give up assets, they can probably get other players. I mean, Dougie Hamilton's a name that's been thrown out there. Obviously, different players, right? Dougie's a defenseman, but I don't know if they want to give up assets for Shen. Now, there was another report that dropped linking today from David Painata as well. Justin Falk. Now, this one is interesting because if you imagine a world where they get both Braden Shen and Justin Falk, then it's a pretty big trade deadline, of course, for him. But he's also at a $6.5 million cap hit. He is a defenseman. Maybe this would be the alternative to Dougie Hamilton if they don't go that route. This one is interesting to me. Again, has an extra year of control, one other year after this one instead of two like Braden Shen. Similar. He's aging. He's 33 years old, but he is a unique player. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Darius, because it is quite the interesting one. Now, let's look at his stats. He almost has as many points on defense as Braden Shen does on offense, a -6. Once again, could this be the same, trade? Obviously, they're both in the Blues. Very notable.
I think it's interesting because they play on the same team. Like, could you package them together? I don't know because of the salary cap. You would have to move out a lot of money, and then your whole identity of the team changes. And I don't think you want to do that right now because they're actually playing very well. And I'm not counting the game against Utah. You're going to have games like that. But Justin Falk actually makes a lot of sense to me, just himself, for this team. He has a big booming slap shot from the point. He's putting up a ton of points this year. He has an extra year left on his contract. I think the Blues are where they're headed, not necessarily for a rebuild, but they're going to be on the downturn, going to a retooling of the team getting younger. But he has an extra year left on his contract, so I think they're more willing to retain salary on Justin Falk. And I think that you can use the money that you're going to save from Chris Tanev if he's out for the year to go out and get Justin Falk. And again, big booming slap shot from the point, right shot defenseman. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. That makes more sense than a lot of the stuff we have been talking about. And he's a guy that has playoff experience. He has gone deep in the playoffs before. So I think I'm way more open to that. We know that the Blues are open for business. They're kicking tires on a lot of things and trying to gauge the market for, what their players are worth right now. So to me, Justin Falk actually makes a ton of sense if Chris Tanev is out for the year. Braden Shen, not so much anymore. And you went out and got Nic Roy anyway. You have that third line center. Tavares is still your second line center. So to me, Braden Shen doesn't make sense for this team anymore. But Justin Falk, ton of sense. And the other thing too, in that report, the Florida Panthers are linked as well because they need a right shot defenseman. They need another defenseman. Take a page out of the Boston Bruins book too. Be proactive instead of being reactive. Go get a guy that's rumored to go to a division rival just because, right? Just to get him away from that team. That's what the Bruins are famous for, especially the last 10 years or so. So just seeing that, I'm like, maybe you want to be proactive in that case. So to me, it makes a lot more sense. You can fit in the salary cap a little bit easier. They might retain some salary. The ask is lower. Could make some sense. And for Braden Shen too, I think it makes sense for the Montreal Canadiens. I think they might be after him. They need a center. So for me, Justin Falk actually does make sense. But again, what is the asking price? The Blues are going to want something pretty significant for a guy, especially with one extra year of term left.
Yeah, and again, you can see here, they're willing to listen to almost everyone, whether it be Justin Falk, Colton Parayko, Kyrou, Jordan Kyrou, everyone, Bennington, Shen. It's going to be wild. Let us know down below what your thoughts are as we look ahead now to what's going to be a pretty crucial stretch of games starting tomorrow. Of course, the Mitch Marner return against the Vegas Golden Knights. Leave down below in the comments section your prediction for this stretch of, 3 plus 1? It's 9 games. So leave your prediction down below. Darius, I'm going to ask yours right now. What are your prediction for these next 9 games? And let us know down below as well.
Yeah, tough test, but I still believe with the way that they're playing, they're going to be above 500, at least above 500. They're taking at least one of those games against Vegas. That game against Vegas next Friday at home is going to be electric. Like, you want to win that game if you're the Leafs. So I think they'll be above 500. They have some tougher opponents mixed in there in Colorado again, but I think you have to, this is a crucial stretch. You have to at least come out just above 500.
Yeah, 5-4. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.
Pretty interesting stuff there on the trade front for the Leafs the last little while. So it should get pretty interesting around the trade deadline, I think, for the Leafs. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. And I just started a poll there in the chat. Well, Matias Maccelli finished the season with 50 points. 50 points, or more or less than 50 points, basically an over-under. You can vote on that now. A lot of people saying more. It's kind of evening out right now. Pretty interesting. But he has 17 points right now, for reference. He has 17 points. He's played 35 games so far this season. So pretty interesting there. I wonder if he ends up getting it. But I think that he has the potential to get it. But anyway. Now, Benoit is not playing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because he is injured. Yeah, we want him to get more, and I think that he has the potential to do it. He has 17 right now. 17. He's only played 35 games. The Leafs have played over half a season. So, I mean, he has less than 40 games to put up 30 points, essentially. A big reason why he wouldn't do it is because he was scratched for so long, I would think, but pretty interesting. Maccelli is my favorite player. Hi from Slovakia. Go Leafs go. Hello from Toronto. All right. Most of you guys think he's going to end with more. We'll end that one. Now, second period's still a little ways away here, so we'll run another one, guys. Run another one here. This is an interesting one. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. Will Austin Matthews score more than 40 goals this season? He's at 23 right now. And again, we just talked about it. They have a little bit less than 40 games the rest of the way this season. So, it's pretty interesting. I'm going to go with yes. He has 8 goals in his last 8 games. He's feeling a lot better. I'm going to go with yes. Most people think yes, he is. Love to hear that. I think that he will. I would say yes. Charlie gets 51 points, Matthews 42 goals. Okay. As a Leafs fan, I have to be optimistic or I wouldn't stick around through all the mind-numbing tragedies. Isn't that true? Sharks are linked to Nick Robertson. They have been for a while as well. Definitely. But yeah, get it in the chat, guys. We got the second period coming up here shortly. So we'll get ready to go for that. Almost go time here for the second, but Will Austin Matthews score 40 goals or more? Most people think yes, he will. Everyone get your votes in here. Last minute here before we move on to another one. I got an interesting one for you guys now. I think you'll like this one. You guys will like this one as well. Well, and that one there. 88% think he's going to score 40 or more goals, which I think is a very good possibility at this point. Start another poll here. I think this one's very interesting. Very interested to hear what everyone has to say about this. Robertson is playing better, but I wouldn't shed any tears to see Domi or him go for upgrades. Yeah, if it's for an upgrade, of course, right? But I've always liked Nic Robertson. I just questioned where his spot on this team was, but he's playing very well right now. And I think, like, I question his spot because of what he was, but he's also added, like, this new dynamic to his game. He is a lot better defensively. He's a lot better physically. So, you know, adding those couple things on your third line with his scoring ability, you have a player. So we'll see. We'll see. No. Overwhelming no for William Nylander, 100 points. Keep in mind, if you want to change your vote, second period's about to start here, by the way. 46 points in 36 games so far this year. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's definitely a possibility. No update on Nylander as well. They're actually talking about it right now, so if there is an update here, I will let you guys know. Wow, overwhelming no for Willie to 100 points. They're speculating that Nylander hurt himself on the goal celebration. And it could have been a very similar... He might have tweaked something that he injured against Ottawa when he was out. Ooh. Maybe an ankle? Looks like something in the goal celebration. I don't believe he's on the bench to start the second. My concern is high. OEL was the injured player on defense. He's back out for the second. So he's fine. I don't believe there's a Nylander on the bench. OEL back on the bench. No Nylander on the bench. No. Do not want to lose OEL. He's been fantastic. All that icing, really. Okay. I thought McMahon got there. Face off in the Leaf zone here. And it's a... They're going to redo that. Morgan Riley was at the point already when that whistle blew for some reason. Puck comes out to center ice. And the Leafs can get a change, but got to get back quickly. Leafs are playing hard here. That's a penalty on McCabe? Really? He fell. Oh my goodness, he fell. McCabe with a second penalty of the night. Nylander's out for the night. Just announced. Ah, man, that is not good. He definitely tweaked something on that same injured foot. Not good. Yeah, he hurt himself in the goal celebration. Possibly. That is horrific if that's the case. He's been so durable his whole career. Yeah, Marner's getting booed on home ice. That's off. He can't handle the heat, this guy. Boos are getting to him. It's going to be a fun one next Friday, I'll tell you that. It's going to be a fun one. Jason Robertson, crankbait. Who do they have in the Marlies in terms of forwards? Jacob Quillen's coming back up. it's going to be Quillen. I went to go watch a Marlies game in December, and I really like Luke Hames. I think he's going to be a good player. There's a couple guys that look really good. Like Henry Thrun, I thought looked amazing that game with the Marlies. I think that's an NHL player, but, you know. Oh, yeah, he's getting booed every time he touches the puck. This is crazy. Here comes the Leafs. 2-on-1 on the penalty kill. Lawton. Oh, he doesn't feed it to Lorentz. He puts it in front to Lorentz, but nothing there. Would have got a change there. This is... Oh, boy. Oh, Vegas just stays onside. Yeah, I totally agree, Paul. That's always been the issue. Always, always, always. There's no second gear. Puck's going to get out again. This power play looked very not dangerous. Not dangerous whatsoever. And the Leafs kill it off. Good penalty kill from the boys in blue. Here comes Nyes up the center. He regroups. He gets it back to Troy Stetcher, who gets it up the wing to Tavares. It's offside. Not called, though. Delayed offside. Vegas is going to come back the other way. Maybe it's like Ottawa and the Leafs fans will boo Marner in Vegas like they did to Alfredson in Ottawa. Yeah. Well, like there's Leaf fans anywhere, right? Like any city you go to, it's if the Leafs are in town, it's a big deal. And this is Vegas. Like, go figure. There's Leaf fans in the building, right? Wow, he is really getting it. I mean, he just touched it at center ice. What is Friday gonna look like? Because I know there's a lot of people that might not boo him. He gave the puck away again. Oh, and he laid out Nick Robertson. That does not go for icing, though. Sorry for the possible spoilers before. I was too busy checking the Kyle Tucker news. Yeah, Kyle Tucker is a LA Dodger. Yeah, Michael Pezzetta too, but I think it's Quillen. I think Quillen's going to get the call-up. I mean, a lot of these teams like the call-up guys that have a lot of upside. Poor Michael Pezzetta, though, honestly. Like, signed with the Leafs and straight down to the Marlies. Like, I thought he was going to actually be with the Leafs. But, I mean, look at the lineup. Where would you put him? Where would you put him? I love the lineup. The way it is. Leafs need help on right wing and left D. I think they need help on D way more than forward at this point. With Chris Tanev out. It's a glaring hole, especially when it comes to the playoffs. You need somebody there. One point out of the playoffs for the Leafs. This would be a huge 2 points if they can hang on here. This is a crucial 2 points, actually. Because now you play Winnipeg, who is hot now all of a sudden. Ooh, big hit there by... Who was that? McMahon? Ooh, nice play out to center. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around, watching along here tonight. I know it's a late one. It's already 11 Eastern. This game is going to end probably after midnight Eastern. What a play by Matthews to get it to the point. Or to McCabe, excuse me. Whoa, what a play by Matthews. Scooped the puck. Somebody, wow. The Vegas defender had the puck and he like scooped his stick around and got a shot on goal off of it. That was impressive. First line's pinned out there now. Only 9 p.m. for Paul. This game started at a regular time for you. I'm sure you enjoy these West Coast games, actually. I can't stand the 10:30 starts. Just absolutely horrendous. I'm not looking forward. I believe the San Jose game is the 10:30 Eastern start. Promise you I won't be live for that one. I remember last year Nick and I were live. I think it was after San Jose, that huge comeback with less than a minute left. We were actually live, and I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Colasar scores. That's a tough one to give up. That is a tough one to give up. Pretty weak there defensively. Don't love that goal at all. That puck could have came out a couple times. First line stuck out there. Riley doesn't close off his guy and scores the goal. There's another minus for Morgan Riley, guys. Wool almost got it too, but like makes the first save and then rebound should be handled with, I think, but that's a dejecting one because it's been kind of sleepy to start the second period. Oh well, back to work, back to work. 3-2. All right, pretty good game. Here we go. Michelli out the center. Nyes is crashing that net. Oh, he gets it back to Myers. Great play by Michelli. Great vision. That was a nice play by Michelli. Did not force that across to the crashing Nyes, which opened up the defenseman. Get a shot on goal. It could have been a nice play. It could have been a goal. Puck's in the corner here. Puck battle. Tavares is in there. Marner's pretending to work hard for it. I love it, Paul. Appreciate anyone who's cheering for the Golden Knights in this stream as well, but this is Leaf Central, baby. Nice play by Lawton. He gets it in deep. He's skating around. He's trying to get it back to the point. He does. Low to high. Shot by Riley. Tipped in front by Nyes. Nyes is going to go off for a change. Here comes Lorentz. Ooh, nice play by Lorentz to get it up to Morgan Riley. He gets it over. Slap shot. And that is stopped by Aiden Hill. Wow. All right, well. Keegan Colasar brings the Golden Knights within 1. And that's where we're at right now. And this game has been kind of sleepy since the first for the Leafs. This is actually a good representation of how this game is making me feel right now. This is how I feel about this game right now. That pretty much sums up how I'm feeling right now. I need the Leafs to wake up a little bit. I need a goal here, guys. I need a goal here to bring me back to life. This is how I'm feeling right now. Let's get one here. Commercial break. And we'll see how the Leafs respond here. I mean, good shift from the Leafs after a goal. But we'll see how they respond. Hi, Matt. Paul's brother is a Habs fan, too. Why? What happened there? Why would he do that to himself? Mosh Hurdle cost a first-round pick. Won this poll as well. Most people actually do believe Nylander is going to end with 100 points. Interesting. Very interesting. We lived in Quebec for a long time. Is that why he became a Habs fan? That's the reason why, Paul? I love it. Mario Ferraro from King City, just about an hour north of Toronto. Could be a possible trade target for the Leafs coming up here at the trade deadline. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on. Play is back underway here. This has turned into kind of a sleepy game. We need the Leafs to get something going here, some momentum. I mean, second periods used to be their best period. I mean, since last year, they've just been horrific. Here comes McMahon in on the forecheck. Nice play. Matthews can't get a hold of it, but here we go. Michael has too much space for my liking. Nice play by Wool there to get it to the corner. Let's get this puck out, boys. Stetcher gets it. Nice. On the near wing to McMahon. He gets it into the zone. He's trying to drive the net. Can't. Matthews giving chase on this puck. This is going to force an icing, though. Great play. And it is icing. Come on, boys. Let's get this going here. Face off to the right of Eden Hill. Leafs get it down low. Michelli's going to get it on the far wall here. Gets out to the center to Tavares. Out in front to Tavares. Back to the point to Morgan Riley. Riley to Carlo. Carlo gets it on the far wing again to Michelli. In the middle. Great vision. Great pass again by Michelli to Riley, but he couldn't corral that to get a shot off. Michelli knocks that down. Whoa, Riley shoots, and that's just wide as well. I believe this is going to go for icing again against the Vegas Golden Knights, and it is. We'll head back to the Vegas Golden Knights zone. Shots are 17-14 for the Leafs. Once again, another game where they're out shooting their opponent, where that really hasn't happened. So, it's good stuff. Michelli's, he's due here. He needs a goal. Great face-off win by Matthews. Oh, great play by Matthews. He shoots, just misses the net. McMahon in on the puck. These are the correct line mates for Austin Matthews. Like, just in on the puck. Here comes Matthews now behind the net with the puck. Gets it out to Domi on the wing. Domi down low to Matthews. To one-timer by Phil Myers there on the point. OEL. Back to Domi. Good cycle here. Boys are getting to work. Matthews hard on the puck. He wins his puck battle. Back to the point now. OEL to Myers. Myers gets it in on goal. That is stopped by Aiden Hill. Golden Knights are pinned. That's a shot on goal. Here comes Domi trying to get a shot. Matthews at the side of the net. Somebody go to the net. Somebody go to the net. He wants it back. Give it to Matthews. Matthews cross ice to OEL. OEL shoots for the tip. Whoa. Matthews and Domi get tied up. That's icing on Vegas again. Matthews and Domi trying to fight over a rebound there. I think they're laughing about it. I think. Nice play by OEL to put it to an area and just put it hard and low. Somebody's just got to shoot that, yeah. I guess it could have been Domi. He was there. Matthews was skating into it. They were buzzing. They're creating something there. Wasn't bad. Barbashev's been on the ice for 3 minutes straight. Oh, and they're going to give it up here. Michelli fell. I think they're going to get a change here. Yep. It's coming back, though. Oh, that's a bad giveaway by Michelli again. Don't love both of those plays. Icing on Golden Knights again. Minute 40 for the Vegas Golden Knights defenseman right now. Leafs should take advantage of this. Unless there's a commercial timeout coming, this is going to affect them for a couple shifts. So, let's get something going here. Jelly has it here on the near boards. He gets it down low. He loses it again. That's 3 plays in a row by Michelli. Bad. That's not good. Marner's line is on the ice. He has the puck. Nice play by Michelli at the line. He gets it out. That's not bad. And at a play, we are headed to a commercial break. Got another one going here for you guys. Another poll. This one should be fairly easy. If Boston continues to suck, that might end up being a high draft pick. Yeah, and they have our draft pick as well, so depending where we finish, they get that pick as well. It's only, I believe it's top 5 protected, so I don't think the Leafs are going to finish in the bottom 5. I don't know if they're going to work their way into the lottery either. I expect them to make the playoffs, so Boston's getting that pick. Boston is getting that pick for Mr. Carlo. Yeah, Char's number retired. I mean, he was a great captain for them as well. Bruins want Rasmus Anderson. I don't think Rasmus Anderson's staying in Calgary. That guy's getting traded. Rasmus Anderson is getting traded by the end of the year. That is for sure. Golden Knights are, they have Braden Shen circled on their draft list. Trade list. Let's get Nic Roy goal tonight. Let's get Nic Roy a goal tonight. High stick. Fucking call against who? Oh, Vegas. Leafs are going to the power play. First power play of the night for the Leafs. Yeah, Kyle Tucker is going to the Dodgers, which opens up Bo Bichette to back to the Jays. But yeah, Kyle Tucker's going to the Dodgers. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. No Nylander here. We got Matthews, Tavares, Michelli, Nyes, Riley, and Tavares. I said Tavares, though. Stone sends it down. Kyle Tucker got paid a lot of money by the Dodgers. $60 million a year. A year. With a 2-year opt-out. You can opt out of the contract after the second year. Which he's going to. I think. Oh, boy. Oh, great play by Morgan Riley. 2-on-1 for Vegas on the PK. Michelli just shoots off the rush. Hill makes the save. Nice hard shot by Matthews, but it goes wide. Michelli gets it down low to Nyes. Nyes is going to spin it around to Matthews. Reminder here, if you're just tuning in, William Nylander tweaks something again. He's out for the game. Matthews definitely looks like himself again. I don't know what happened. Just the way he's moving. Like, oh, great play. Scores! Scores. They needed that. They needed that. I think Tavares might have gotten something on that. But I think it might be Michelli's. We said it a couple of minutes ago. Michelli needed to get on the board. Credit to Morgan Riley on that 2-on-1. Credit where credit is due. Great play. Michelli shoots it. I want to see if Tavares tips this. I don't think he tipped it. I think it hits him. Great play by Matthews across. Michelli shoots. And I think Tavares got a piece of that. So I think that goes off Tavares and in. It is 4-2 for the Leafs now. They needed that one badly. Badly. 7:14 left here in the second period. Shots are 22-14 for the Leafs. That is Tavares' 17th goal of the season. Oh, and not... Whew, great play from... What is that, Cowan? Yeah, Cowan to... So Cowan's back on the third line with Waugh and Robertson. Nice play by Waugh, center ice. That was very close to offside. Oh, 2-on. Okay. Here comes Wall. Oh, he gives it away. Oh, he lost the puck. Get back in the net. Wow, that was dangerous. Dorofeyev is looking for the puck. Oh, that's Riley Smith, excuse me. Dorofeyev is out on the ice, though, with Mitch Marner and Riley Smith. Ooh, Marner centers, but nice play by Cowan to get that out of the crease. Nice save by Wall on the one-timer there. Nick Robertson's stick just broke blocking that shot. Uh-oh. Nice save by Wall, and they get the clear, and that might be a high stick. It's going to be. Excellent, excellent clearance. Whew, 5:46 left to go in the period, and we are headed to a commercial break. John Tavares does get the tip on that one for the fourth goal. Ready for the statue for our new assistant coach. Mike Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Sullivan. Steve Sullivan. Not Rangers head coach and former Pittsburgh Penguins head coach Mike Sullivan. Steve Sullivan, former Toronto Maple Leaf and Chicago Blackhawk. And Paul, you said a few minutes ago, we need Tavares to get one here. There you go. Sometimes it goes off you and in. So Tavares gets the goal. Nice to see that from him. Love JT. And he gets one there. Got about 5 minutes left here in the second. And we will head to a crucial third period here where the Leafs need these 2 points. So that was a crucial power play goal. And kind of what I've been talking about. Like, you know, the power play, was it winning or losing you games? I mean, you could have won a few more games, I think, with some power play goals earlier this season. I do. They weren't playing as well. They're playing better now all around. But that's right, Paul. They all count the same. And you have a 2-goal lead now with on that power play goal. So you need them. You need them for sure. Yeah, Crankbait, this has been a very good game by the Leafs so far. Really enjoying it. Very entertaining for the most part. I mean, it kind of quieted down at the start of the second period, but it's just a great play. I mean, Matthews to the bumper to Nyes across, and it goes off Tavares and in. I mean, Tavares is just laughing because he stole that one. They all count the same, though. Yeah, Kings definitely not in a playoff spot. Kings look horrible. They look horrendous. And on Woll, and he makes the stop. And he covers. Woll's been very, very good as well. First power play goal. Actually, even both goals tonight, like, wouldn't pin it on him. He's been good. He's made some big saves. He's been brilliant so far this season. So, he's been pretty good. 16 saves on the night for him tonight. He's rocking a .920 save percentage on the season so far with 11 wins. He's been very good. I believe it's 11 wins, last I checked. Also, Anthony Stolar has joined the team on this trip, by the way. I don't know if he's going to play Saturday. I mean, that would be the next opportunity for him to get into a game. We haven't heard anything in terms of, like, him getting cleared to play, but... Oh, nice play. But who was that? Stetcher? Clearing that out of the crease. Matthews takes that away from Jack Eichel. Great play by Stetcher, clearing that out of the crease. It was Stetcher. Great play. Huge. Hanifin down low. I believe the third line for Vegas is out right now. Countered by the Leafs. A concoction of something going on. Robertson's now on the fourth line, it looks like. Cowan's been moved to the third line. Actually, I don't even know what's going on. I think it's because Nylander's out. They're playing with a lot of stuff right now. Tipped into the zone by Robertson, and Lorentz will give chase. He's hunting. Good three, like, it's a two-man, or it looks like a two-man forecheck with the third up high, but also giving support. And it looks pretty good. Like, there's enough support on the back check when they're going back the other way. Like, it's looking, everything looks pretty good from the Leafs. On that fourth line specifically, I notice it a lot. The other line's not so much on the forecheck, but they have been looking pretty good as a whole. Nice play by Tavares just to delay some time there. Here comes Kolasar. He's a man on a mission tonight. He's playing hard. Ooh, that comes in front. Nice play by Nice. Got it to Michelli. Michelli chips it to... Ooh. Nyes wants one tonight, too. He's skating well. He wanted that, but it hit a leg. Bowman pivots. He gets a pass off to the point. That shot goes well high and wide. I think that's going to go for icing against the Leafs, and it does. 3:15 to go in this period. Face off to the right of Joseph Woll, and that's won by John Tavares. And it's sent all the way down the ice for another icing. Unlike Babcock, Berube isn't afraid to put the lines in a blender. And I've always liked that about Berube as well. Babcock just went back to the same thing over and over and over again and said, yeah, well, you know, one of these days it's going to work. And surprisingly to nobody, it never did. 3-on-1 for the Leafs here developing. Not really, though. Michelli gets it in deep. They got to get a change here. Get a change! Here comes the third line out. Marner has it. He put it to the front of the net, but big save by Woll. Here comes Cowan with some space. Gets it into the middle to McCabe, but that is stick checked away. Cowan has it in the zone. Nice puck protection there. He doesn't give it away too easily. Some good cycling going on by the Leafs here. Like classic. This is great. Just put it to an area, get to it, and keep rotating. Simple. Cowan tried to cut to the middle. Didn't work. Nice play by Matthews. That's not a trip. No way. He fell. Took the puck off him and he fell. Oh, to the front to Matthews. He gets it in front to Cowan. Nice opportunity. I can't believe they didn't score on that. Here comes Matthews again. Great pass to OEL. Domi to Riley at the point to OEL. Can somebody please go to the front of the net for the love of God? Nice. First line's cycling it very well and creating like a lot of chances all to the perimeter though. Cycling very well. Here comes Matthews. He shoots. That's blocked. McMahon has it behind the net now. Leafs are... Wow, this is really refreshing to see. It's just going around. Here comes Matthews in on the forecheck. Marner tries to get it out. He can't. It did trickle out to the line, or to the red line. Domi tried to get that in, but he couldn't. It looks like Vegas is going to get a change, and it out to center as well. Here comes Jack Eichel. Angled off by Bobby McMahon and taken into the boards by Jake McCabe. McMahon flips it out to center. Here comes Nic Roy. He's giving chase in on Noah Hannafin. 35 seconds left to go here in the second period. That was a good little piece of business by the Leafs' first line, but they got to get something. Got to get something out of those opportunities. Should be up like 5-6-2 right now. Make the most. Capitalize. Here comes Troy Stetcher. He grabs the puck. And he gets it in deep. Two seconds. 1 second out to center. And nice play at the line by Lorentz. Can't get it in. Very tight. Tight period, but 4-2 Leafs off of a goal from John Tavares. Golden Knights get another one from Keegan Colasar. And here we are with a 2-goal lead again. For the Maple Leafs heading into the third period. And real good stuff. The Habs, a couple points up on the Leafs, they lose to the Sabres. Sabres absolutely rolling. The Leafs need these 2 points. This is absolutely crucial for the Leafs to shut this down in the third period and come out of this game with these 2 points into Winnipeg on Saturday. Absolutely crucial. So, yeah, Akhtiamov has been great. Hildeby's been great. Vladislav Pekska with the Marlies as well. He's looked really good. I think he's going to be a great goalie. So, very excited about the Leafs' future in that regard. But speaking of the Leafs' future, guys, I'll be right back. Going to take a little bit of a break. Be right back in a few minutes. Anthony Stolarz. The future of Anthony Stolarz, his health. And Bobby McMahon is a free agent at the end of this year. What do the Leafs do with Bobby McMahon? That's an interesting question. Nick and I give our thoughts. I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Enjoy, because I think it's pretty interesting. I think it's a big talking point. Let me know in the chat what you think the Leafs do with Bobby McMahon as well.
This was inevitable, as some wild new reports have just dropped surrounding the future of Anthony Stolarz, but also one other player that not only has fans very fired up, but nobody saw coming surrounding this player. We're going to break down exactly what these reports are and discuss what it means that it involves a very big trade, as well as a ton of other updates on this episode, folks. But before we get into it, a very quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Darius, a lot to go over today, and it was inevitable that we are going to have this conversation surrounding a couple of these guys, and most importantly, there's one that's a little bit crazy. But let's start with the report that was going to be inevitable. And we've covered it in the channel a few times. There was always going to be a chance that they trade one of their 3 goaltenders, and Nick Kypreos has confirmed here that there are teams out there that need a goalie, and not a lot of them are available at the position. So if Anthony Stolarz can come back and be healthy for a stretch, he's a trade chip they could use. So we're going to start with this, and this is the report that it's quite notable now, and it's a very good and interesting point to make. Now, we're coming off of, ironically, Dennis Hildeby having probably the worst start of the year for himself yesterday. Loss wasn't fully on him. But Darius, it does make sense in a market where goaltenders are super highly sought after. If they think they have their future goaltending with Joseph Woll and Dennis Hildeby, then trading Anthony Stolarz, if he comes back for a good stretch, they could use. So we're going to start with this, and this is the report that it's quite notable now, and it's a very good and interesting point to make. Now, we're coming off of, ironically, Dennis Hildeby having probably the worst start of the year for himself yesterday. Loss wasn't fully on him. But Darius, it does make sense in a market where goaltenders are super highly sought after. If they think they have their future goaltending with Joseph Woll and Dennis Hildeby, then trading Anthony Stolarz, if he comes back for a good stretch, isn't out of the realm of possibility here. And it's very notable that Nick Kypreos went out of his way to say that he could be a trade chip they use. And we'll dive into another trade report surrounding someone who's way less, likely to be, or at least less, fans don't really want him traded. This one's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of teams around the league that need goaltending right now. And I think if you were to trade Anthony Stolarz, you would get way more for him probably right now in season, because a lot of teams are panicking or about to start panicking. We heard there's like a lot of movement that's about to start happening around the Olympics. So you could get way more from now than in the offseason. But what's the old saying? If you have time, use it. And the Leafs don't have to make a decision on this until the summer. And they're going to have to. Make no mistake about it, because they're going to lose Dennis Hildeby if they keep Stolarz and Woll next season. I would almost guarantee that, because he's going to have to go through waivers. Somebody's claiming Hildeby off waivers. So that's just how good he's been. Now, Hildeby, it's not his fault that loss last night. Not even close. The Leafs had no gas left. Travel back-to-back. You're playing the best team in the league on the first half of that back-to-back. That being said, he does have some deficiencies in his game still for being such a big goaltender. A lot of people beat him up high, especially blocker side, and I think that's a bit ridiculous, just the way it goes in, at least for a guy his size. So there's a couple of things that he needs to work on still, and he can do that with the Marlies. But the Leafs are in such a good position with their goaltending, with Pesca, down there in the Marlies. You have Akhtiamov down there, Hildeby, right? You have the 2 goaltenders in the NHL in Stolarz and Woll. Like, they're in a good spot right now in their goaltending, but they will have to make a decision on this. But I think, the only interesting thing here, and I understand what Nick Kypreos is saying, it's true, they're going to have to make a decision at some point. Again, latest the summer, right? But, or at least before the season starts. But I think you could get something a little bit more from right now, because there are teams that need goaltending right now.
Yeah, obviously signing that extension, so just naturally he has more time left in his contract. You mentioned it, he'd get the second half of this season if he is healthy, and let's say a team acquires him at the deadline, which, again, I think this conversation could also be brought up in the offseason as well, once they figure out, because again, they're going to try to win this year. Maybe they get, Dennis Hildeby has a big leap forward. There's also Akhtiamov, like you mentioned, but there's no current date targeted for his return, but he is getting close. all of this depends on how he does when he returns. Because if he goes out and he's really rough, they're not going to trade him because that would be at his lowest value. But if he comes back and is solid, right, even like a 900-ish save percentage, so many teams out there would love a goalie like Anthony Stolarz to have, just because not many teams, I mean, really no teams in the NHL have the depth of goaltending that the Leafs do. And now, of course, with Dennis Hildeby, who has struggled a little bit, but if they believe Joseph Woll is a 1A starter, Dennis Hildeby is a perfectly fine backup goaltender. And maybe that's where they're going to try to transition, even though the NHL is kind of going back to the 1A, 1B thing. Let us know down below what your thoughts are on that. It was inevitable, though, that a report like this was going to come up, because at some point they're going to have to make a decision, and it might be trading Dennis Hildeby instead of Anthony Stolarz if they want to go that way. But also, this report came up, which was less inevitable. This one's pretty surprising to me here. Per Nick Kypreos, Bobby McMahon could command as much as $4 million per season on the open market, and if the Leafs go the other way, a trade would bring 2 quality pieces back. Now, we'll have another full video covering this, but this one's pretty shocking because it does make sense that he's going to have, players now with the salary cap rising are getting paid over the projection by Puckpedia here and things like that, or Money Puck, sorry. But $3 million is his projected, I guess. Nick Kypreos is saying he's going to get $4 million potentially. You look at some of the comparables. This is a guy that a couple years ago, they put on waivers and went unclaimed, and now he's having a fantastic year. This trade, I'm not a huge fan of this year. It makes sense if they don't want to pay him in the offseason, but he is the reason, or one of the key reasons, that they've turned their season completely around. I can justify in my head getting rid of one of their goaltenders. I don't know if I can for Bobby McMahon.
We're in a tricky spot here. If they're on the outside of the playoffs looking in around the trade deadline, maybe I could be open to the idea, but I really, really don't like it. And I don't think you should trade Bobby McMahon. I don't really think it makes that much sense, especially moving into the future. He's still relatively young. The projections have him at $3 million on his next contract. That's a little bit, not necessarily outdated, but like you mentioned, the salary cap's going up. So Kypreos has him at 4. There was projections last year in terms of, certain models, how you looked at it, that he was playing at a $5 million pace and he's having a better season this year. So on many other teams, this is at least, I think, a $4 to $5 million player. So again, depending on the market and stuff like that. But I don't think it's wise for the Leafs to move off of a player like this. And I think you can still get him on a relatively short contract at relatively cheap. Not necessarily saying you have to give him $5-6 million or anything crazy like that. But of course, there's going to be other teams in the mix wanting to sign this player as well. But at the same time, I don't think you should trade this player. Like everything he's done this year, what he's shown that he can bring. He was looking to me like he had a bunch of tools, but he couldn't really put it together, especially at times last year still. I think this year he's shown that he is putting it all together, and I think that's with the help of Berube just saying, this is exactly what we need out of you, and he's bringing it this year. The speed, I don't think anyone in a straight line is faster than him on the team. He has the speed, the bang and crash, he can score goals, like he's putting the puck in the back of the net now. This is a guy you don't want to trade, and I think can really, really help you, and he's versatile. He's playing on the 4th line right now. He can play on your 1st line. He can play on your 2nd line. He can play on your 3rd line. Like, he's that type of player that just brings everything to the table. And I think before this season, again, you just see all the tools. He had everything, right? In terms of, like, you'll see flashes of he can score. He can use his body to his advantage. Here's the speed. This year, he's putting it all together. So I think it would be unwise to move off of him. But I could understand that if the Leafs are on the outside looking in significantly, not like a couple points out, like if they were in the race, it would be dumb to do this. But if they were well outside the playoffs by the trade deadline, maybe, but I don't think it's a good idea. I wouldn't do it. And I think that you're going to have to pay him more. That's for sure. Like the contract he's on now is a steal, but I think you pay him and you keep him on the team. He's a big part of this team.
Yeah, and obviously this is a new report, but also I kind of omitted the part. You made it clear. If the Leafs go the other way, so that's if they free fall, they'll be interested in trading McMahon. But I think it is something that even we can have a conversation about whether they should extend him anyway in the offseason. $4 million's fine, but at the same time, other teams like the Panthers, like the Lightning, are getting really team-friendly deals. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if he's worth the Leafs extending him at $4 million. It depends on what some of the other options are, just because I don't want to get stuck with, Cal Yarncroke and David Camps again, even though, of course, they were both, much lesser contracts. So let us know down below what your thoughts are on this. A lot of plans are also being revealed. It's going to be interesting. It seems now where they don't have a ton of assets to trade, and they're going to have to show whether they're contenders or not here in order to actually make big moves. One thing is for sure, though, if they keep the way they're going, there won't be a Bobby McMahon trade, but there will be significant moves and probably surrounding Dougie Hamilton. So keep an eye out on that. And let us know down below what your thoughts are on Anthony Stolarz. It's going to be very interesting. They're going to be forced to do a decision very soon here. Thank you guys for watching. See you later. It's confirmed as a massive new report has just dropped surrounding the Toronto Maple Leafs and Dougie Hamilton. And folks, it just got very real. And following the win of the year Trade talks are really starting to pick up. We'll break down these new reports and discuss what it means going forward, as well as a ton of other updates on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into it all, very quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Your guys' support has been unbelievable, and the Leafs have been unbelievable, so thank you guys. You guys have been beasts. Darius, a lot to go over today, and we're coming off of a very big win last night, another late game tonight. But some reports started to fly yesterday that a lot of fans aren't talking about because some of them happened late at night. And of course, everyone's celebrating the huge win. But let's start. A few days ago, Elliot Friedman initially reported that Dougie Hamilton's future with the Devils was in doubt, and we had a video just a couple days ago talking about how the Leafs, make some sense. There was some rumors speculating there, and then of course him being a healthy scratch kept popping up, and then Nick Kypreos yesterday confirmed. You can see here he said, should the Leafs trade for Dougie Hamilton? He confirmed that the Leafs would be exempt from his no trade clause, meaning that he would be willing, Dougie Hamilton that is, to come to Toronto and would definitely entertain Toronto if they were to make that move. And this is very notable because not only does it make a ton of sense, the Leafs suddenly are on an absolute tear right now. Points in 11 straight games, I think it is, just on fire. And now all of a sudden, he's not in the no trade clause, which is a very good sign if they want to acquire him. But most importantly, he would definitely entertain coming to, where he's from, Toronto.
Yeah, and 8-0-2 in their last 10. The Leafs are on absolute fire. And stay tuned till the end of the video. We'll talk about the game because it is probably the game of the year at this point. You beat the best team in the league. But the Dougie Hamilton stuff is very interesting, especially being linked to the Leafs. And we did a video on this the other day in terms of how it would work for the Leafs. And I want to get to some of that stuff in this video as well. But this one's going to be more based on feel and what the new reports are. And that it's, he would be open to coming here, first of all. And I think that he's going to be open to going to most teams, especially if they're considered a contender or a team that's in a playoff spot, because he wants to work together with his agent and the team to get out of there. Like, I think that it's kind of run its course in New Jersey. There's going to be a trade. We just don't know to who at this point in time. And now it sounds like there is some interest from the Leafs, but there's some stuff from earlier last year that kind of goes against that too. And keep in mind, Brad Treliving is the guy who traded Dougie Hamilton out of Calgary as well when he was the general manager. So we have to keep some of that in mind too. The Leafs, if they wanted to, if they thought that Dougie Hamilton could absolutely make this team better, they could make this deal this year. They could make this trade if they wanted to. It would work. I think the Devils would retain some salary as well. Some, very little, but they would make it work. And you can see here, even last night, you're looking at the JFresh chart, right? And he has really good numbers and really good analytics. Like, he's good in certain situations, and he can be really good on the power play as well. But if you look at the game last night, huge statement from Dougie Hamilton as well. Like, he had one of the best performances from a Devil all year. And of course, he's coming off of being healthy scratch, and it was a business decision, all that stuff. But there's still a really good player there. I think just the mentality of the Devils is not that good. If you move some of those players out, they'd probably be good somewhere else. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is a lot of people, and again, this is just speculation, talk about how Dougie Hamilton is as a person and in the room. And do you want to add something like that to the Leafs dressing room right now? Because it looks like they're, bonding really well. There's a lot of really good connections going on in the room. That brotherhood seems like it's starting to build, and that's something you need to win the Stanley Cup. So I don't know if I would do that, but I think things are very interesting. You're hearing, usually when there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sure there's at least tires being kicked, and it sounds like there's interest from the Leafs and Dougie.
Yeah, and a couple things to go over. You mentioned it. I mean, he's a very good player now. Is he good defensively? Not necessarily, though Brandon Carlo has suddenly turned into Carlo we know, and I guess love from last year. A couple other things to note. Chris Johnson, I believe, reported this morning that it's looking like Tanev's going to miss the rest of the year. So that would obviously put this report at the forefront. And this seems like a Brad Treliving move just because of the fact that he's been heavily looking into a defenseman. Now, of course, the locker room, possibilities of him being, an issue there. Could happen, though. I think the Leafs, locker room has enough veterans to where that probably won't matter as much as some people think, just because in a younger team, it usually tends to matter more. But there is the other side of what you were just mentioning, thinking back to July here. And you can see here, I'd be surprised if Dougie Hamilton wanted to play for Brad Treliving or if Brad wanted Hamilton in Toronto. So when I say that I think it's a fit for Brad Treliving, I mean strictly as the player. The personal side of things, you could see here, there is some, I don't know if I want to say animosity, but there are some questions about whether or not Brad Treliving and vice versa, it would make sense there. But again, Nick Kypreos says here that he would entertain Toronto. So it is filled with interesting scenarios here. This season, he's not having a great year. 12 points. You can't judge a defenseman off of points, but for the sake of argument here, he has 12 points in 41 games. The DraftKings chart looks pretty good. He is 32 years of age, making $9 million a year. You can assume some of that is going to be retained. But again, with Chris Johnson reporting today, it may have been last night, I think early this morning, that Tanev's probably done for the year. they do need a defenseman. It's just a matter of who, rather than when, or rather than if, sorry. And now, of course, the question mark becomes, Brad Treliving, all these different things. But at the end of the day, he's a great, great player. Does he fit the Leafs? I think probably, all things being equal. But again, all things, aren't equal because of multiple things here.
Yeah, when scenarios like this pop up, I tend to think somebody should take Brad Treliving's phone away because we know that he's, that whole report about Braden Shen last year, he was ready to trade Danford, Easton Cowan, but the only thing that held it back was that he wanted Luke coming to Toronto with him. That's a little bit scary, right? So when scenarios like this pop up, I'm like, whoa, somebody take this guy's phone away from him. But that being said, whether you like it or you don't like it, it could happen. It's a real possibility, and this player is up for grabs right now. And like you mentioned, Chris Tanev, I think this move, if he is to become a Leaf, really depends on if Chris Tanev is out the whole year or not. We were talking about that, as early as Saturday, that it really comes down to that because there's new LTIR rules. If he's not out the whole year, you only save 3.8, and when he comes back, you have to be cap compliant. It wouldn't work in that way, even if New Jersey is retaining some salary. And you have to think of a return as well. But anyway, to get back to the salary, if Tanev is out all year, you save 4.5. That's half of the salary. You can absolutely make that work, right? So I think it just got very interesting. Somebody's got to take Brad Treliving's phone away from him because I don't know if I love this deal. I think it could essentially, it would make the Leafs better right now. I think that Dougie Hamilton would look way better on the Leafs, let's say, because of everything that's happening. When you're mentally checked out and the team is as bad as they are in New Jersey, you're not going to play your best. So I think that he would look good, but then you got to think of a return. Money's got to go out. A little bit more money's got to go out, right? The whole thing with Chris Tanev, that's the only way it works. So it's pretty interesting. The cap is going up next year, so of course they can afford this. But I don't know if I love it, if I'm totally in love with it. I would support it if it happened because I'd be like, I just want the Leafs to win, and I think you're getting a really good right shot defenseman. Cool. But I think there's some things you got to work out with the salary cap. I would be a little bit hesitant to do it as well, especially because of the future, and he's getting a little bit older. But I think it's interesting. I would not put this past Brad Treliving. I think he moved off the player at one time in Calgary because it fit the team better for what they needed, and they had Rasmus Anderson, all that. So I think it's interesting, and I think that he would entertain any team that is in a playoff spot right now. I think that they want to get a trade done.
He also has control for what many are considering the Leafs mini window here in the next couple of years. So
We are back here for the third period. We are 10 seconds in. They've officially dropped the puck. And let me know how you feel about some of that contract talk and some trades that could possibly happen for the Leafs coming up here, because some decisions are going to have to be made. I don't know if they have to be made tomorrow, but definitely going to have to make some decisions coming up here shortly. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, Prophet, you're right. I mean, they were previewing what could happen here in the third as this period opened up, and they were saying, Mark Masters was saying, I should say, Matthews is done. He's all business with the Mitch Marner questions, and he's ready to get 2 points here. So nice couple blocks here from the Leafs, and they're back the other way through the neutral zone. Here comes Domi with Matthews. He drops it for Matthews. Matthews has Eichel all over him. The Golden Knights have the most third period comeback wins in the NHL this year with Matthews in the slot. He shoots. That's blocked. Most comeback wins in the third period in the NHL this year with 7, but none of them have come when the other team is up more than 1 goal. So Leafs up by 2 here. Shots 22-20 for the Leafs. Absolutely crucial to come out of this game with 2 points for the Leafs. Just a point out of a playoff spot right now. Get back into a playoff spot tonight, and you're looking good heading into Winnipeg, who have been a little bit better as of late, but you can definitely pick up 2 points there. And another busy week next week against Buffalo's coming up. That's going to be a tough game. Be interesting to see what happens next week. And Vegas again next week on Friday in Toronto. Cowan and Watt into the zone. They're out there with Robertson. This third line reunited with the injury to Nylander. Leafs are headed to the penalty kill here. That's a bad penalty to take, and Craig Berube is pissed. Craig Berube is mad. Marner shoots it. Oh. Six seconds. And it's 4-3. Bad penalty by Easton Cowan. 6 seconds. Vegas gets on the power play. Stop putting this team on the power play. It's the only time they've looked dangerous this game. Something tells me Cowan's getting sat for the rest of the period. That's a... Mitch Marner is a good player. That's not the reason why everyone has a problem with him. We found Mitch Marner's burner account in the chat. Yeah, Berube is rip-roaring mad on the bench at Easton Cowan. All right, 4-3. Shots 22-21 for the Leafs. So they're still in control here, but need these 2 points. That's also not the greatest goal for Walt to give up through the legs. I don't think Cowan's playing for the rest of this period, guys. He does not look happy on the bench. They let Hill get hot. Now he's making saves. I spoke too soon in the first. Leafs need to respond here. They need to respond in a big way because they did in the second period. That's kind of what their MO has been under Craig Berube. They need a big push here. That's a high stick. Yeah, that's going to be called. Yeah. Brought for another face-off. I'm not sure when Stolarz is coming back exactly. I believe it's soon. He's traveled with the team. He's on this road trip, but I don't think he's going to play on the road trip. Unless he plays in Winnipeg, but he is traveling. He is skating every morning, so getting back into the swing of things, back into a little bit of a rhythm. So hopefully he's back soon, but I don't have the slightest clue at this point. I mean, I think it's soon. I think it's soon. He went to go see a specialist, and then we didn't hear anything about that specifically, and then all of a sudden he's back on the ice. So... I think it's possible he could play Saturday, but I'm not too sure. Hildeby would also have to be sent down. Like, he could be traveling with the team, but he would have to be sent down. So, we'll see what happens with Stolarz. He's on the trip. He's skating. He's on the ice every morning. But, we'll see. Nice play by Robertson into the slot for one. That's deflected. Cowan is on the ice with this third line. And now he's on a one-on-one. Here comes Cowan. He shoots. Just wide. Okay, so Berube, I mean, he was hot, but he put him back on the ice. I thought he was going to sit him for the rest of the period after that, but... Get some confidence in you, kid. At least fourth line now out there, giving chase on the forecheck. Nice play by Stetcher to win that puck battle. Lorentz gets it in deep, and Lawton's giving chase. Phil Myers and Troy Stetcher out here. Nightmare fuel. Out to center. McMahon tries to dump that in deep, but can't. Alex Holtz comes in and stopped by Wool. Myers is playing because Simone Benoit is out with an upper body injury. They just announced it before the game started. He's Not in tonight. He's not playing. He's out day-to-day with an upper body injury. So one can only assume if he is out day-to-day, his season is done. Because that's just the way the Leafs like to do things, I guess. OEL to the slot. Nice move by Nye. Shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. He was wide open in front. And Stetcher beats Eichel for the icing. Nice hands by Matthew Knies and tight, but like, shoot the puck, man. He had an open net. He had an open net. Oh, it's a good idea, too, to Domi, but... And it comes right to Knies, too. Like, OEL's trying to put that in front to, I think McMahon. No, Matthews. You got Waugh, Tavares, and Michelli out here. Obviously, no Nylander. He's done. He tweaked something. He's out with an injury. Tweaked something lower body injury. It's probably the same leg and same thing that he tweaked like when he missed 6 games. Or, I think it was 6 games. Missed quite a few games. Marner rushing up. He's getting booed. Nice save by, or blocked by Carlo. Oh, nice deflection. 14-17 left here in the third. Shots 24-23. Carlo's being looked at by the training staff. Oh, that's right off the helmet of Wall. That shot deflected out of play, right off the head. That went right off of his forehead and out. Holy smokes. Nice to see you, North 6 James. Nice to see you. Fixing Wall's helmet here. That's why there's a delay here in the play. Yeah, that's right off the side of the head. Possible ankle injury for William Nylander. That's what they're speculating right now. He was announced to not return to the game when the second period started. James Myrtle reporting that Michelli has been producing at a 60-point pace over 82 games since he's been back into the lineup. That is really, really good production. If you prorated over 82 games, 60 points. That's very, very good production. For like, what does he make? Just over 3 million? Marner puts that towards the net. Stopped by Wall, and it's cleared. This second line has looked really, really dangerous for the Knights all night long, I will say. Leafs respond with their makeshift fourth line that has Robertson out there with Lawton and Lorentz. Oh, here's a breakaway for Robbie. He gets it one-handed in on goal. Still has it. Still has it. Still has it. Okay, he's knocked off the puck. Nice little play there by Nic Robertson. Let's go, Nicky Bobby. I don't want that energy here in the chat. The Leafs are not losing this game. The Leafs are winning. Colasar drives the net, and it's just wide. Colasar has it again. OEL is fighting for the puck. Yeah, some big saves by Wool in this game. Let's get this puck out, guys. Been trapped for like 30 seconds out the center. There we are. It's got to change. Nyes is giving chase on Hanifin. $12.40 remaining here in the third. I hope this game doesn't go to OT. That would be devastating. Matthews giving chase. He's skating a lot better. Looks way better. It's not even just the production that's been up. It's just the way he looks on the ice. Looks way better. He looks comfortable. He's creating more chances, skating well. He's stick checking like I remember he could, like earlier in his career. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. He missed it, but Domi beats out the icing. Oh, McCabe tried to get it to Matthews in front. Big booming slap shot from Myers. That's stopped by Adin Hill. And the Knights are going to go back the other way with Jack Eichel. He's stopped up by Jake McCabe. Great play. Oh, Domi almost took a penalty there. Holy smokes. And it's an icing against the Leafs. So the first line will stay out there with 11:40 to go in the third. Wow. Dude, I was gonna bring that up. I was watching Bobby Hastings and awe. I don't know if anyone's watching my face. Like, I was watching what Bobby Hastings does. I was aware that he does that, but just like the clip they were showing, I was watching that in awe. Like, that's crazy. I love that. Come on, guys, finish this out strong. Travel day tomorrow. You're in Winnipeg Saturday. You get a rest tomorrow. Back on the ice Saturday morning. Of course, North 6 James. We're always taking stuff from the chat. We love you guys here. But yeah, big win by Buffalo again tonight. They're climbing the standings. They've won a ton of games over the last month. Sabres are they're looking pretty good, but I'm not too convinced in terms of, like, will they make the playoffs? 2-on-1 for the Leafs. Lawton and... Yes! Yes! Nice to Lawton. Yes! Yes! Huge goal. Huge goal. Lawton's on the board. Crucial piece of this team. Give that guy a new contract. Scott Lawton supremacy! Scott Lawton supremacy! Give that guy a new contract. Tomorrow. I want to see the notification tomorrow. The Leafs have signed Scott Lawton to a lifetime contract. I want to see it tomorrow. What a pass by Matt Nyes, though, you guys? What a pass. That's class. That's class. Scott Lawton's 6th of the season comes at no better time from Matthew Nyes and Steven Lorentz. 5-3 Leafs with 10 minutes left here in the third. Back to a 2-goal lead. Keep the foot on the gas. Keep the foot on the gas. This team's got to be tired. They're probably tired, but, like, it's just a mental thing. Keep it going. We're all in the chat here. We're watching this team. We're up late. Everybody's got to go to work tomorrow. Paul, I was just joking. Not at a lifetime contract. That'd be cool with, like, 2 years or something. But, we're all pushing. We want to see the end of this game. We want to see a big 2 points. Push here, Leafs. You got the day off tomorrow. You're traveling. You're in Winnipeg, which doesn't sound desirable at this point in the year. Why do the Leafs always play in Winnipeg in the coldest point of the year? But anyway. Nice to Lawton. That's the Leafs up 2. And we got 10-11 left here in the third. When we are healthy and Willie is okay, do we keep our top 9 together and try nice with Lawton? I think Lawton should be playing higher in the lineup, honestly, but there's a reason you went out and got Nic Roy. This is a deep team when healthy, up the middle. Scott Lawton's your 4th line center. That's a deep team. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. We love making that content. But yeah, Scott Lawton's a beauty. Should be playing maybe more ice time. I don't know about higher up in the lineup, but, like, I don't know where you put him. But yeah. Yeah, Winnipeg is frigid at this point in the year, so. This is also a pretty crucial stretch for the Leafs because you finish out the next 2 weeks. You go on the road to Alberta and BC, and then it's the Olympic break. So this is, get hot, stay hot, and then rest up during the Olympic break, which could actually be good for some guys. And then you come back and get to work again for the last last month and a half of the season. It's late, guys. It's midnight now here, local. But we're almost there. Let's see if the Leafs can hang on to this win. Or these 2 points. That'd be very, very nice if they could. North Exchange doesn't have to go to work. That's nice. That is nice. I think a lot of people work from home today if you live in the GTA. A lot of snow here today in Toronto. And I mean, the TTC is unreliable on any day. But boy, oh boy, you put some snow on the floor and they forget how to forget what the heck is going on. 10 p.m. there, 2 hours back, Mountain Time. What a save by Wall. Oh, no, it's sitting there in the crease. And it's in. It ends up in. Wasn't that under Wall? There's no whistle, but like, really? 5-4. I wonder if they're going to challenge here. McCabe's having a long chat with the official. I wonder if they're going to take a look at this. I would like to see this replay, first of all. Great save by Wall, but then it is a loose puck. Do they not scrum that off, like, from under his pad? And they're in the crease? That's tough. I don't know. I would like to see another replay. Great save by Wall initially. I mean, Barbashev is on top of Joseph Wall, but is he going to make that save anyway? That's the thing. I don't know if you challenge this. Wall is like in the corner. I don't know if he's making that save anyway. Then it goes off McCabe and in. What a trash goal. Leafs are not challenging this. 5-4. Shots are even at 27 apiece. 1 goal game. 9:35 left to go here in the third. We're in for a good finish. The Leafs have to push hard here. Vegas is going to come with a good push too. I'm pretty sure Vegas played last night in LA as well. So, like, let's get going here. Leafs had yesterday off after a bad game on Tuesday. I don't know if I would have challenged that either though. Because, like, if Wool was in the net and you're shoving around at his pads. But he was outside of the net. Like, he was not even in his crease, so. Which is another conversation. But it is what it is. 5-4. Nothing's going to change it now. You can't go back in time. Challenge it or anything like that. So, see what they can do with this opportunity in front of them. Yeah, they got to get skating again here. Here comes Nyes. He's pushing. Gets it around Theodore. Ooh, nice play by Tavares out to the front of the net. Here comes Nyes. He gets held off. Looked like he wanted to absolutely blow up Mitch Marner on the boards there. Nyes got to get out for a change. He's been going hard for like over a minute here. Tavares trying to get it out along the wall. He can't. Stetcher gets it to the line, but it's not out. It's kept in by Noah Hannafin. Back into the Leafs zone. Trying to get it out. Here comes Lorentz. He chips it out. He's giving chase. Here goes. Here goes. White Cloud has it. Hannafin has it. He dumps it back in. Here come the Knights. Back to work in the Leafs zone. Someone's stick just blew up. Riley, get it out. Just put it to the guy. Like, he's there for you. That's why he's in that position, man. Use your center. Use your wingers if you want in the zone. Nice play by Lawton. Gets it deep. Wall's trying to make a play here. He can't do anything with it. Oh, Matthews scoring that last goal would be poetic. Eichel's flopping around here like crazy the last minute. Definitely that and this road trip. Leafs. Let's get going. Nice play. McMahon and Domi back the other way. McMahon dumps it in. He's giving chase. Gets out to the line. Here comes Kolasar. He's speeding in. He's against Troy Stetcher. He shoots. That's wide. Woo! 6:50 left here in the third. Oh, big save by Woll. Big save by Woll. Can't blame Woll tonight. He's made some big ones. Oh, to the line, but not out again. Oh, my goodness. Somebody's... Matthew fault. Jeez. What is happening? Oh, somebody fell. Matt, come on, McMahon. Get it out. Get the puck out. Matthews to Domi. Domi flips it out to center. Get a change. Get a change. Let's go. Come on. Nylander's not playing tonight. Or he left after the first. Ooh, Hanifin gets that across to Dorofiev, but he doesn't get enough on it. Woll was across anyway. Oh boy, 5:50 left here in the third. Here we go. That's not icing. Come on, chase, Michelli, chase. That wasn't icing. Like, not even trying to skate to it. I'm not gonna call that. That looked offside. Yep. Offside at the Leafs line. 5:29 to go here in the third. I'm stressing. They need these 2 points. Bad. Crucial 2 points here. Oh, we all also missed some time in this game, but he returned. He's been playing since, so. Everybody's a little banged up. Everybody's a little tired. They got a commercial break here. One last final push. You're up by one. One last huge push here to win this game. Shout out to Nick Robertson tonight skating in his 200th NHL game already, which is crazy. Can't believe that. But, almost there. Almost there. Things are about to get intense. Things are about to get intense for the Leafs. 5:30 left. They need to hold off the Golden Knights, who have some momentum right now. The Leafs also look very, very tight, which isn't ideal. That's true too, Paul. He was injured a lot. He got that shoulder injury. I think he got hurt in 2020. He got hurt the year he scored like 50 goals in 50 games in the OHL. He got hurt the year after that. I think in his third NHL season, he got hurt for a period of time and then never really found his footing after. Keefe also didn't really like him too much, I feel like. I don't know. Scratch him a lot. What sucks for Nylander is people are going to like make fun of the fact that he got hurt celebrating his goal. But like he wasn't even really celebrating that hard. He just caught an edge. Well, the score was never 4-1, Chad. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. It was never 4-1. It was a 3-2 game at one point. So, oh my God, Theodore had it alone in the slot and he skied it. Man, Eichel's such a great deceptive player. Puck goes down, and it's icing coming back into the Leaf zone. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Final stretch here. Final stretch. Face-off won by Matthews in the defensive zone. And that puck is going to go all the way down the ice again. I feel like I'm watching instant replay over and over and over and over and over again. Final stretch here. 5 minutes. Matthews is 15 for 20 tonight in the dot. 75%. It's a good ratio. Good percentage, I should say. Into the Toronto bench, another stoppage. 4:55 left here in the third. This feels like a football game going on right now with all these stoppages. Tavares wins this draw in the defensive zone. And the Leafs will get it out to center. Riley gets it in deep. Tavares will give chase. Leafs are playing a little frantic right now. I don't really like it too much. Like it feels like they're chasing the game a lot. I don't know. Nice play by Wall to get that to his defenseman. OEL gets it out. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left here in the third. Nice play at the line. Ugh. Vegas ties the game. Marner to Dorofeev. And is that a hat trick for Dorofeev? I believe that's a hat trick for Dorofeev. There's like 2 hats on the ice. I think they're going to challenge this. Every single coach on the Leafs bench is looking at the video. I think they're challenging this. Steve Sullivan is nodding his head. I think it's offside. Ooh, I think that might be offside. I want to see this replay again. They'll be able to... The Leafs are challenging this. Hanifin comes in. He loses possession of the puck here. I believe that's offside. Actually, I need to see a wider angle. I don't know where... The Leafs need to trade for a defenseman. The Leafs are challenging this. Okay, so now things get very interesting because if they lose this challenge, which the Leafs challenge, they're very good with the challenges. Was it a quick review? Am I delayed? Whoa. How far behind am I? Oh, this is a quick review. Yeah, I guess it's... Yeah, offside. No goal. Woo, Leafs got an... Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. No hat trick. No hat trick. 5-4. Leafs still in ahead. 4:13 left in this period. This is going to get crazy. Five, 4. They're asking for the hats back. No goal. It was offside. I guess Dorofiev was probably offside at the... we didn't see an angle here that... Yeah, he's offside. Yeah, he's offside. That was a pretty easy one. All right, that doesn't... I mean, it does certainly change things, but you still, if you're the Leafs, like, get an insurance goal here. Like, keep playing hard. There's still 4 minutes left in this game. Marner puts it in deep. He's giving chase. Here comes Stetcher back. He gets it up the wall. Winger isn't there. Nice play by Lorentz to knock that down. Oh, bad change. Bad change. Bad change by the Leafs. All right, all right. They got control. McCabe's got it. Flips it out to center. Domi has it on the line. Gets it in deep. Matthews to McMahon down low. They're cycling now. McMahon has possession of it. He falls. Matthews trying to get it. Domi in on it. He gets it to the point. Back down low to McMahon behind the net. They're cycling well. His first line is cycled well all night. OEL gets it to Domi across. Get it to the net. Domi gets it down low to Matthews. Matthews has it behind the net. He's looking for somebody. Back to Domi on the half wall. Domi across ice to OEL. He shoots and he just misses the net. McMahon has it. Back to the point. Carlo has it. Carlo over to OEL. OEL back to Carlo. Carlo towards the net. Deflected. Off a skate and wide. Leafs are going off for a change now. Golden Knights coming out the center. They dump it in. Whoa. Yeah, top line was buzzing there. They have all night. Really, really good puck movement from that top line. 2:20 left in the third. They're not pulling Aiden Hill yet. Oh, big hit by Keegan Colasar. Man, that guy's been skating hard all night. Colasar, he's been an impactful player for Vegas tonight. Michelli gets it to the line, not out. Carlo has it behind the net. He gets it to McCabe. McCabe out. It looks like they're messing with the lines again now, too. Riley's not with Carlo right now. Was that a penalty? That's not a penalty? Aiden Hill just blew up Scott Lawton. How is that not a penalty? There's 1:35 left in the third. I think, and Vegas has pulled their goalie. Aiden Hill's now on the bench. Don't look at the bench play. Saved by Wool, and Matthews gets it out and to center. Aiden Hill just like blew up Scott Lawton. What the heck was that? There's about a minute left here in the third. Vegas gets it in deep. Troy Stetcher off the glass and out. Out to center again into the Vegas zone. They'll regroup. I got to reset the clock here. We got 50 seconds left in the third period. Marner into the zone. That's over the glass and out. I believe this faceoff will come outside. Woo! What an ending we got here. Nyes with multiple assists tonight. Ooh, 44 seconds left here. I wonder if... Yeah, Vegas calls timeout. I was wondering about that. Vegas now leading in shots. You expect that, of course, with the fact that they're pushing hard to tie this game. They're drawing up a play here. Dom Ducharme is very animated on the bench right now. drawing up something. And we have Derek Lalonde drawing something up on the Leafs bench. All right. Matthews against Eichel. Here we go. Face off. 44 seconds ago. Back to the point. Vegas wins the draw. Marner down low. Marner's playing the point here. Oh my God. Matthews couldn't clear that. There is 20 seconds left. Nyes doesn't have a stick. This is essentially a 6-on-4. Eichel has it to Marner, to Eichel, to Stone, to Eichel. Oh, they tie the game. Okay, well, the Leafs are going to get a point. That's disappointing. This team looks gassed, man. That's really a disappointing result. You could have came out of this with 2 points. Like, guaranteed, man. Now you're without Nylander. Going into overtime. This is the first time we're going to overtime when I've been live on stream. Just a little deflection there. And Wall almost gets there, but... Yeah, this sets up a Mitch Marner overtime goal, man. This is bad. No. I'm not putting that out there. It's not happening. 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 I really don't know what game you're watching here tonight if you're blaming Joseph Wall. 19th time Vegas has gone to overtime. I think this is the Leafs' 15th time. So they're up there with them. That was tough. That was tough. All right, we're going to overtime. Five minutes on the clock here for overtime. Nylander left the game with a lower body injury. Yeah, I know. At least should have been on the power play in that final minute. Unbelievable. I hope they don't squander the second point, man. It is exciting. It is exciting, but I mean, I'd rather be packing it up, going to bed right now. With the 2 points in your back pocket, obviously. Oh my God. Most overtime games this season. Vegas 19, Los Angeles 18, Minnesota 17 in the league. I'm pretty sure the Leafs are up there with, I think this is their 15th, the Leafs. They've gone to a ton of overtimes. Eichel looks like he's going to start this for the Knights. Matthews is out there for the Leafs. So it's Matthews, Tavares, McMahon. Sorry, Matthews, Tavares, McCabe will start for the Leafs. And for Vegas, it's Eichel for sure, from what I can tell. Shea Theodore. And Mark Stone. Now, this first shift is going to be crucial for puck possession because if the Leafs don't have it and Vegas goes off for a change, Marner's coming over the boards with speed. I mean, Matthews knows you gotta get this done. You gotta score here in the first minute. You got to get this done, brother. Shots are 32-28 for the Vegas Golden Knights. And here we go. Puck is down for overtime. Tavares is taking the draw. One of the best faceoff guys in the league. And he wins that one. Matthews gets it. He gets it back to McCabe. Mark Stone's chasing McCabe. Back to Matthews. Matthews gets it up to Nyes. Tavares took the draw and went to the bench. Now McCabe changes for Morgan Riley. Nyes to Matthews. Matthews through the neutral zone with the puck. Gets it to Nyes at the line. Nyes drives. Matthews one-timers that, but he didn't get enough on it. Riley cannot lose this puck battle, and he doesn't. Nyes gets it. Change. Get a change. Get a change. This is good. I like these stakes. This is high stakes. I love it. OEL's out there right now with JT, and Nyes is going off for a change. OEL gets it to Michelli. Michelli out to center. Oh boy, don't lose this puck. He doesn't. OEL to Tavares. He looks to shoot. He doesn't. Do not lose this puck. Hanifin is on Tavares. Tavares cuts into the middle, or tries to. Michelli very shifty on Dorofiev. He's going to lose this puck. Oh boy. Back check, back check. Get a change, get a change. Quick change by Michelli, and here comes Easton Cowan. Marner looks like he does not go for a change. Here comes Eichel with the puck. Stone has so much room, and he rifled that off the post. Holy smokes. He had so much room to walk in there. Oh, great defense there. Here comes Cowan the other way with McCabe. Mark Stone. Blow past Mark Stone. Okay, Cowan pivots. This is exciting. Austin Matthews, Riley, and Easton Cowan on the ice. Cowboy with some energy here, with some juice. Matthews trying to get lost here in traffic. A lot of pivoting, a lot of turning back here. Oh, nice tip. Nice little area touch pass. Cowan. Riley sends it to the moon, and now Vegas has a 2-on-1. Get back, Cowan. Get back. Poor shot selection. Oh, no. Yeah, Eichel has all day. I mean, like, what is that? I mean, Riley just cost them another game. Oh, man. The Leafs couldn't... You can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. Eichel, I mean, I could have scored that. Eichel had all day. All day. But why does he moon that shot? Why does Riley send that to the moon? And Matthews is at the blue line when his guy Eichel has the puck. But why does Riley take that shot? That's not a good shot. That's a tough one to lose. I know you get a point, but that's horrific right there. That's horrific right there. You had a 2-goal lead in the third twice. I agree, Paul. At least it wasn't him. And we'll see next Friday. That'll be a fun one again. That'll be a real fun one again. Hopefully Nylander's back. Not out long term or anything, but well, that's a tough one to drop. Can't lose that game. Gotta walk away with 2 points in that one. That is, they pissed those 2 points away. That's horrific. You gotta have the juice to finish that one off. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, I would say it's a good night for Toronto sports, but Kyle Tucker was never a J anyway. So on to the next. Hopefully, Bo Bichette stays a J. But Habs also lost. Sabres won. well, guys, I hope you all have a good night. Not going to stick around here too much longer because it's after midnight. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. Leafs are in Winnipeg on Saturday. And then I will be live again next week on Friday for the Vegas Golden Knights again in Toronto against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So excited to see that one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Should be a fun one next week, and hope everyone has a fantastic night. We'll see you again for video tomorrow morning or at some point tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a good one.
Digest your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends untold. From first puck drop to the season's fall. Tune in.